Check. Mic. Check.
Perfect. All right. 6 to 8 inches from your mouth at all times. Keep your hands in the vehicle because we're going to the moon because that's the starting point. And Elon, you're up next. Alex Ramosi, you're up next. We got Don Dale looking to provide value today, immense value. Some people are gonna be like, how did he freeball this? I didn't. I planned it out. I just needed to get him here. I got him here. And 3, 2, hold on. 1. All right, welcome back to Office of the Day. Today, a very special guest, and the intro is going to be longer than normal. David Alejandro Reyes, a man who leads by example, who is a leader amongst his circle, but who is still a student of the game and humble. Why? Because he's learned from a very young age that it is important to treat everybody with the utmost respect, honesty, and integrity. How does he do that? We will get into that shortly. With that said, Mark Anthony here is the biggest advocate, has been from the jump, even before we started working together, right? The way we started working together is actually really interesting. We can't give you the full details, but we'll go over that towards the end of the podcast. With that said, why he is who he is because as an owner, he's not a CEO, he's a true leader. How do you become a true leader is you relentlessly and fearlessly, false evidence of hearing real, go into every day with the utmost positivity and optimism. And the way he does it is a calm, composed manner. Now I'm going to switch my tone to show you that it's all about tonality. With that said, he has learned that you have to code switch to certain people so they can resonate and meet with you. But without further ado, David Alejandro Reyes, Green Ladder Roofing, God loves roofers. God has been protecting us and as well been propelling us to the next level. Thank you so much, David, for allowing me to give you this crazy intro, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to, be a part of the family. And with that said, give me 1 second. Welcome, Papa Reyes. Give it to me. Introduce yourself, because nobody could do it better than you.
What's up, man? Thank you for having me, man. I think it's been 4 years since we did a podcast together, and it's been a wild ride since. I think we've both grown. The audience has grown. Everybody's been working hard, so it's great to just sit back and kind of smell the roses and reflect. I guess for the audience who doesn't know me, I think the first question is like, who the hell is this guy? And so my name is David Reyes, and I own a $10 million roofing company on track to do, aiming to do 15 this year.
Nice.
And I have a team of about 20 people, and every single one of our teammates are driven to hit our goals. And so I'm just here to talk about my mistakes so others don't do them and they achieve their goals way faster than I did.
A little bit more than that because I also forced him to get him out of his comfort shell, but that's a great intro. Can you give me a little bit of a deeper, quick background of your upbringing, and then we'll dive into the value?
Yeah. So I've been doing roofing for about 12 years, going on 13. But if you unpeel that, I'm a son of immigrant parents from Michoacan in Mexico City. They came here without a cent to their dollar, without knowing the language. Very hardworking people, and I think a lot of that got translated over to me. And so that's my driving engine behind everything. It's kind of aiming to retire them, but I didn't want to be a roofer. I didn't want to be in this space. My dad would make me work my way in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I hated it. Long hours in summer. It was hell. But
you did everything, right?
I did everything, man. I did labor, like picking up trash. I did. I was a foreman. I was a superintendent. I was an inspector. I was a project manager. I was a sales. I was everything. Department head. And so I was able to translate that into the roofing business owner mindset because I knew exactly how each person felt and what I can fix in that role. And so right now we have a very good handoff between departments because we all work together. We're one unit. It's a lot of businesses that are out there are very broken businesses where one employee will shove work into the other person, and there's a lot of beef in between employees, or a lot of things dropped between the cracks. And so in our environment, we're all working as a unit, kind of like when you're running track and you're passing that baton to the next person. You better know damn well that you did everything you could for your 100 dash. And then when you hand that person, you know you're confident they will grab that and take it further at the speed that you need to win. And so that's how our team works right now. And I think that's the most proud I've been of the team, not even our accomplishments. That comes with the team. Yeah.
Wow. I think that was very well painted for the Picasso that we're about to start, right? That's just, he just framed it, and now we're going to get into it. So let's start off with the post you made the other day. Elaborate on why contractors need to speed up in regarding to their marketing, to their branding, and to everything else that you were pertaining to that maybe I'm missing.
Yeah, so the other day I made a post about urgency. It was literally just a video letter to my followers, who are mostly roofers, to pretty much let them know that they need to get their act together now, or in 2-3 years they're gonna be wiped out. So it was like a warning, like please, like pick up the effort in the right things, because a lot of contractors, they're hardworking people. They're probably one of the most hardworking people in all industries. Contractors, they slave away long hours. They're in incredibly hard physical environments. They have the mental strength of, it's a resilience that cannot be taught. It's just earned as you go. And so they're focusing their mindset on the wrong things. They're focusing their mindset on how many times or how fast I can install, or how fast can I have material delivered. There's other levers to a business in contracting. It's how efficient is my marketing spend? It's how is my website converting? Is it psychologically easy for a homeowner to just click call now or click submit form? It's how fast of a lead to speed is your process? How fast is your customer journey? How locked in is it?
How locked in is Green Ladders right now, if you don't mind me asking?
It is locked in. It is iron tight. We're constantly changing to optimize it.
What's the response time when the lead comes in?
So it's under 3 minutes.
Perfect.
And we monitor that. And so our booking rate is 85%. Every lead that comes in, 85%.
What is booking for the people that don't know?
Anybody who has a problem, like a service issue, say you have 10 leads that call you.
Mm-hmm.
Out of those 10 leads, we're booking 9 of them.
Okay.
For the next appointment.
Copy.
Things that go into that component is like how fast you picked up, what was the scripting when you picked up, what was the urgency.
Right.
Because, dude, I know a lot of contractors spending a lot of money on content, marketing, but they're not even picking up their phone.
Right.
Like I saw this one, I'm not going to say any names, I saw this one young contractor who had the one of the nicest ads I've ever seen. And I wanted to call him up to give him props because he was a young contractor. He wasn't in roofing. And I wanted to call him up and say, hey, man, I really see what you're doing, and like I want to give you props.
Right.
Because it's a great ad.
Right.
I called him. It went through, like it rang like for however seconds, like 45 seconds.
Right.
No one picked up. And I was like, oh man, dude, you're burning money here. He eventually called back. We're actually gonna go have lunch together. But I didn't tell him what he did wrong. Obviously, like that's kind of a douche move.
Right.
Like, hey, by the way, I love your ad, but pick up the phone next time. Like,
yeah, and you said he's young too. So
he's young, so like there's a way to ease into it.
Right.
But I saw that and I was like, oh man, this guy's burning money, because in this day and age, it's a global shift into like the Postmates effect, where like if one is closed or if one is not, you go to the next one. Doesn't matter what you want. You want whatever is like available next. It's like the Amazon. You don't even look at who the brand is. You're like, oh, I just want the product. I just want the end thing. And so if you're not picking up the phone the first time, within less than 10 seconds, you're losing the client like that.
Right.
So.
And they're going to your competitor.
Yeah. So it's refocusing the mindset of these people into the right thing.
So capturing the lead, marketing correctly. What are like 3 other things that are important that contractors are lacking right now that you're helping within your group?
The script.
What script?
Even if you pick up the phone.
Okay.
Like, what are you going to say? And we fixed that real quick, where we had people picking up the phone that weren't able to extract the whole purpose of the conversation.
And the information.
It's different to have a person who knows the business pickup than someone who understands, like, the whole point of this lead is to get them on the board. Either through incentives, like performance pay, or that's just their job and they're good at it. So picking up the phone is the first thing.
Right.
But it's like, what are you saying on the phone?
Right.
If someone says, oh, I'm calling in about, I have a leak, and it looks like it's coming under my window. And the person answering the phone is like, oh, window? Yeah, that might not be roofing. Instead of like, you know what? Let us get someone out there just in case, because it might be coming in from the roof and leaking on the window. Let's just make sure. It's a free inspection for you. They'll be like, yeah, go ahead, thanks. And there's been times where we go out there, it was a roof leak, and it happened to just go right where the window was. Mm-hmm. But that would have been lost money. Your ad spend, like the average lead, you're spending like, I don't know, 80 to like $200
in the roofing industry.
In the roofing industry, and that's not even costing and compounding the cost of running the inspection.
And let me stop you there just for a quick second. Yeah. When you're saying $80 to $200, is that your metric? Because I think your metric is better than that, right?
Yeah, I mean we're probably around. Well, it depends on the platform.
Right.
Every platform is different ad spend.
Right.
Our average lead ad spend.
Okay.
But the scary part is to even go deeper on this. So people I like to hit them in the face with the truth so they can see like, all right, this is where I'm losing money. So if you pay for a lead, let's say $100, right? And you actually pick up the phone and you actually do those things and you get them on the board for like, let's say tomorrow at 10. By the time you finish doing that inspection, that whole thing costed you $500. That lead was no longer $100; it's $500, because of the time of whoever's picking up the phone, because of the time of the inspector, his hourly rate, the gas, the insurance, the workers' comp, the time of the sales guy to do his proposal. It actually costs $500
on the low end
after lead spend.
Okay,
like the whole end, like. But that changes your mindset of how important it is to like actually fulfill through. Now imagine if you're not even getting your proposal out in time. That's a whole different conversation. Imagine if your proposal, you're taking 2-3 days to send it out.
Which a lot of contractors still do.
Yeah. Bro, we send it out the same day, within 24 hours. Sorry. We're trying to do it the same day. Within 24 hours.
Typically, we usually send it out within a couple of hours of inspection because we're on it. You know, I've seen that and I've done it because there's a dialed-in system in place. But keep going.
Yeah. So that's what we do right now. We do it within 24 hours just because sometimes the hourly time frame for our guys, they come in at 10:30, our sales guys, and they leave around 8 p.m. And they each get 3 to 4 leads a day. We do 15 inspections a day. We have 3 inspectors. So each one of these guys is 3 or 4. They knock it out. Some knock it out that same night.
Right.
And some do it right in the morning. Because this is the only reason why we take 24 hours, we don't send the proposal out unless we get on the phone with them.
Right.
That's the only reason we wait.
Right. Like that's something that we talked about, how important it is, because you could send out a proposal. If you don't get them on the phone prior, then it's just like wasted money because you don't even know what they're going to do after that. You don't know how they're going to shop you, et cetera, et cetera. But you also gave me a great point to tag on here. If you guys don't know your metrics, you should. And you see how he's stating, boom, boom, knowing your numbers. How important has it been to grow to 10 million, now 15 million, and prior to that, jumping not jumping, but going through the systems, knowing your true numbers to be able to propel forward?
I think the hardest part that was holding us back was getting the data to see our numbers. Like that's half the battle. Some people don't have the infrastructure to see their numbers.
Why?
They don't have the right CRM.
Okay.
They don't have the right marketing platform or the right marketing agency to let them know. You need to know your numbers to be able to be like, oh, this is what I need to work on.
Right.
So for us, half the battle, like we muscled through to 3 million. That was just all hard work. Right now, like that jump to, we did 5 million last year.
Right.
That was infrastructure building. That was still building. Now it's just, we see the numbers. All right, this next quarter, this is what we're doing to increase that number. And now it's just doing more of that thing. But the hardest part was, how do you even make a company that extracts the number without you having to like do all this math and finding out yourself? So
having the team in place, right, with the CRM team, or who is your team for that?
Well, it's all on ServiceTitan now.
Okay,
our
perfect.
CRM, like everything is extracted. Then we have different platforms for different metrics.
Right.
But it's all laid out perfectly. Like the guys have a dashboard that has everything on there, and we can put it up on our TV and they can see exactly their metrics. But it's super important because now the whole team is behind the vision.
Would you agree that not knowing your metrics is driving a ship blind?
Yeah, dude, it's like driving a car without your dashboard on. You're driving blind. You're driving you don't even know if you have enough gas. You don't know if your brakes are working. Right. You don't know what's gonna break or hurt you in the long run. So yeah, having your metrics is super important.
Right. Man, I'm just having him grab something for us real quick.
Yeah.
Just so we can make sure that we're providing as much value as possible. If you get a chance real quick, can you unlock that for us? We're going to put that in the middle. That way we just have a couple other things that we might need to pull up.
What's that, my computer?
Yeah.
What are you trying to get at?
I'll pull it up for you right now. But I just want to kind of go into detail a little bit. We're going to type in something to ChatGPT or Perplexity for a quick question, just so people kind of really understand that we're not making this up here. The more time you spend on, and thank you so much for taking the time, you guys that are still listening. The more time you spend on understanding your numbers, the more time you spend, or rather invest, on your team, on knowing from A to Z the process of capturing that lead, the inspection performed, the proposal sent out, getting the person on the phone prior to, yes, perfect, thank you, boss. Yeah. Then the more actual time you invest in these things, the more you get back, right? The more time you invest with your team, the bonding and the aspect of the expectations, the requirements to be able to succeed, the better off you'll be. Now, we've gone over that. That was just the intro, right? We've just gone into the intro. Now it's officially started. We're on target to hit 15 mil.
Yeah.
15 mil. What's the next breaking point? Is it 30?
No, it was 5.
Okay.
It was like, I think it's 5 to 10. I think it goes from 10 to 20, I think it is. Yeah, I think it is.
So next year, what is on the itinerary, if you will? 40. Yeah. So this is not to flex. This is to educate and serve. From 15 to 40, from what I remember, going to the 10X, that's a huge jump. You're breaking from 15 to 25. If you're comfortable sharing, how are we going to go from 15 to 40 million to the following year?
It's actually very easy now that we have the numbers in front of us.
Okay.
Because we've learned sweet spots. Like, for example, that jump is just marketing and sales at that point because the infrastructure is built. The leadership is built. So, for example, we know that our sales guy right now, we have a team of 6 right now, sales team.
Right.
Each salesperson is comfortably able to do 150 to 250,000 in sales each month, without being overwhelmed, right? Without being spread thin.
Right.
With the right training, we can bring anybody in that knows the value of hard work to do, again, between 150K to 250K in sales revenue. Meaning that guy takes home about 10 to 25,000 a month. But the whole point is now we know we just need more salespeople. On top of that, our marketing team knows exactly how much ad spend it is per lead. So now we know where to increase. Like right now, we haven't even hit our cap on marketing spend at all. Like our agency is actually very surprised how much we're spending on marketing.
Right.
Because it's so little compared to other people. I was talking to a roofing company. They're spending $80K a month, bro.
What's their ROI?
They're at $5 million. I don't know. You do that, Matt. How?
There's no ROI then. They're $80K, and what do they get in return per month?
In ad spend? I don't know. I didn't ask that.
Can you connect them with me, please?
Yeah,
I need the strong, warm intro. Keep going.
Yeah, and I was like, we spend like 8 to 10 a month.
And if you're okay, what's the ROI?
Last month we did $800K in sales.
Those are good numbers. Brandon Dawson, Warren Buffett, Alex Hormozy would all get behind that. And it's a perfect plug for us to stop really quick. Here's a little bit of an ad that's not paid for by us, and we're not going to get any recognition, but he has helped us. Hold on. 100M money models is what we're doing today. That's why. And it just so happened to be green, like Green Ladder Roofing, and green like wealth, green like growth, green like money, right? You cannot serve God and money, but you can serve yourself and work your ass off. With that said, if you haven't already, right now, Alex Hormozy on his website, if you go to one of his videos, I'll put the video link down below. You'd only spend $18 and you get these 3 books. You only have to pay for the shipping.
I could do you one better.
Go for it, please.
I have 1,000 free ebook copies of this.
1,000 free copies. You got to pay for shipping, and you got to pay me $5 on top of that.
E-copies. I'll give it to you, and then you can pick people to give it to or whatever you want to do. It's a link. It's a promo code that I got because we invested in a big package with Alex Hormozy. I think it was like $6,000.
Amazing. So $11 is what we'll give it to you for free. Actually, fuck it. We'll give it to you for free, right? And
they need to follow you.
Oh yeah, you need to follow me on all my platforms, including this one, and David Reyes, Capital Projects, if you're okay with it. Green Ladder Roofing, both pages, and as well, I want you guys to give an honest review of this podcast. If you guys hate it, great. If you guys love it, great. If you like it, cool. So, with that said, we're going back into the Potter. How has these books, the platform now that you've invested in with Alex Hormozy, propelled Green Ladder Roofing to the next level?
It was the core of our sales team right now. Like without that blueprint, we'd be running blind through the sales department. But because of this, there's a lot of stuff we use in here. A lot of things. We have a whole playbook, the 10-page playbook that I made with this content. I literally spent a weekend going through this book. This is how I did it. I had my audio. I was listening to the book while reading the book. And I was walking around. It was like a Sunday by myself in the office. Walking around, and I was taking notes on the whiteboard. And I kept doing that. Took pictures, put it into ChatGPT, came up with a game plan, refined it. The refining part took the more time because I turned that into roofing, closing, objection handling, and I trained the sales team.
Wow.
Which it's unfortunate you weren't able to see that.
Right.
You'd be surprised what I do for sales training.
Right.
Like
Tell me about it.
I think you'd be proud.
I am proud. I've been proud. What do you mean?
We have objection handling. We have transition to closes now.
Right.
We have tactics to get people to open up proposals. All this stuff, and it works. It's just crazy. I'm just like, how the heck did we even close deals without this? But it's very powerful. A lot of inspiration has came from.
How often are you guys doing role play?
Every day. Every day we have a sales meeting.
So every day, can you clarify how long this sales meeting is and what they truly get out of it?
Every day we have a sales daily huddle. It is 30 minutes long. And every Wednesday, the sales department head does a full meeting. That's usually like an hour or two of going through certain things.
Justin,
yeah.
My boy Justin, he's going UCLJ.
But that's every day. Every day we have a 30-minute daily huddle.
Does this help them as well?
feel like, is this like kind of like the coffee in the morning, if you will?
Yeah, it's the coffee is the fuel. There's actually another thing that where we have a Slack channel, so everyone's posting hype in there. Everyone's like sees each other's wins. Everyone's like super supportive. I think that's what I love about the team. They're super supportive of each other.
Right.
The reason we start at 10:30, it aligns with the sales team hours, but
Right.
also the whole point of doing 10:30 was they all go to the gym the day before, the hour before. They all go to the gym. There's a gym chat. Everyone's posting and they're like lifting weights.
What gym do they go to?
A lot of them go to Equinox.
Nice.
The bougie like that.
But it's an investment. If you actually do the math on it, it turns out to be like $10 a day, $6 a day, depending on what promo you get and if they give you the gift card or not. But keep going.
Yeah. So they hype each other up. They come in ready, and then they're constantly everybody's desk is near each other, and then everyone's on calls. So everyone's hearing each other's calls. Everyone's like collaborating together. If they need to burn off some steam or anything, there's a little golf thing in there. There's a little weight thing in there. Like,
that's cool.
It's a cool little vibe. Like, it's very different than when I started. It was just you and I in a dark room with no windows.
Hey, we made it work though.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was very just muscling through those first years. This is like structured. Everyone goes in there. Everyone's helping each other. It's a whole different thing, but it's again, this book, that culture, I couldn't develop something I never did. Right. I never did sales. Like, I didn't do sales besides the sales for Green Line Roofing that
He's
I had
the
to learn.
ultimate salesperson.
But Alex pretty much showed me the way on a lot of things.
All right. So we're going to come back to the value on the roofing side of things. How has, I think this is a process that most roofers want to hear about. How has dialing in the inspection roof process with the city and the counties helped you buy your time back?
So we have a whole database now.
Okay.
Where we have a Google Drive of every city person's contact, every city person's email, every city portal login.
Right.
And we have a dedicated permit team now.
Right.
And so they're in charge of pulling permits for us. So our production team, Eric, he still goes in there to make sure all the permits, but there's a permit tracker. And the permit team is pulling everything now. Once in a while, we do have to go pull a permit, which is fine. We have a superintendent that goes do that now. So I think it's been a while since he stepped into the office. The production team.
I haven't seen the new one, no.
The production team is Eric. We have a superintendent. We have a service department manager.
Right.
We have admins. We have permit trackers. We have CSR departments. It's all structured now.
Yeah, no, and how important has it been to, because before, obviously, you were doing everything. Then we got an admin. Then they were helping. Then eventually we lost the admin, and I came in a little bit before we lost the admin. How important has it been to put everybody into place, for one, and then put everybody in the proper place? Because, like, for example, for me, I was doing client success. I was doing selling, a little bit sharp selling at first. Then I learned how to educate and serve in the roofing industry. I was doing marketing for fun. I was also, throughout the process, doing project management. How has putting everybody in position not only bought your time back, but generated the company ultimately millions? And now it's a rinse and repeat process next year.
Yeah, I mean, you are your own bottleneck. Like as an owner, you have to get out of your own way. Sometimes we think that we have to do it ourselves if it has to be done right, but it goes back into leadership. And it was me who had failed. Like, it was my fault for the team not growing back then. Like, it was me who should have been more structured and shown. Like, there was a lot of leadership thing that had to happen.
Right.
But now it's no longer about just me as a leader. Like, you see everybody's department head. They themselves lead teams. They have meetings without me. They have, like, each department has a meeting every day. But they also have one big meeting every week in their departments.
So everybody gets in sync.
Yeah. Every department head and me, like today, we have an executive team meeting. And it's for an hour.
What time is that?
What is it, 10:30, 11:30?
11:30 a.m. or p.m.?
Every a.m.
Okay.
Every week. Where a finance department head goes in there, marketing, sales department, production department. We all just sync. We all work on. There's a guy you need to learn from. I don't think a lot of people know him. His name is Ryan Dice. He has a really, really good structure of like setting up like CEO dashboards of like how to align people on KPIs. I've been diving deep into his stuff.
Right.
And Ryan Dice.
Ryan Dice.
I think he has a portfolio company that I think they do over 100 million.
What's his background again? Before that, or
he's grown, scaled businesses, sold businesses, and right now he looks over like $100 million portfolio. Of no, he just started posting marketing though. Like he just started posting content, right. Very new. Like, but really good stuff. So, and he told us about like this meeting to like regroup and what to talk about and like what KPIs to look at. And now we focus on like, all right, this week let's focus on this department. Let's help them out. All right, this week let's do this one. Because everything is again structure. Everything is already exists out there. It's just how can you implement it for yourself and your business fast enough where you're growing and you're not wasting time.
Right. So that's a great plug. What are most contractors doing right now that looks good? That's like that shiny object that they shouldn't be doing in reality.
Oh, shoot. I don't know if people are going to like this, but...
Call them out.
It goes contrary to what we talk about.
Okay.
Which is videos. A lot of people are posting videos just to like elevate their personal brand. But at the same time, it's like, I hope they're also paying attention to their marketing spend on ad spend.
Because that's a separate entity.
It's a separate entity. Brand. Like, there was a point in time where we were spending a lot of my brand, but we were still like at 3 million. And the team was struggling. We didn't have the right infrastructure. We didn't have the right many leads. Right. We still had people running around doing a lot of things. I was focusing on the wrong thing. It was a good investment. And I'm still a really strong believer in brand is very powerful. But you have your team behind you.
Right.
That is still hurting.
Right.
You know, so like a lot of contractors that I see are, dude, they're spending a lot of money on branding or on ad spend, but their website is still like, it's non-converting. They don't have people answering the phone call.
No SEO.
No SEO. You're going into a dead wall. Like you're bringing traffic and eyeballs in because that branding works. But what are you doing at the end of that? So it's branding is like the beginning funnel of it, right?
Right.
And that can be amazing, but if you don't have any way to catch all that, you're wasting money. You're bleeding out.
So what like let's say for that $1 million target point, or if you're at $1 million roofing business, what's a good CRM for them?
Job Nimbus and ProLine.
How did ProLine help us specifically, especially when you were running 5 departments, I was running 5 departments, I was losing my mind. You were calm and composed somehow, which I still don't get to this day, and he still is. But with that said, how did that ultimately automate the business?
So ProLine started off as like a helper. Like it was kind of like a go high level back then. But now it turned into their own CRM. But it was like having another 3 employees under us by itself. It would help us move things around. You would close deals without even following up with customers because ProLine would do it for you.
How would they do it? Just because, give them like an example template. I mean, we can't forget them. Give them like one of the example template messages that would come in after like 2 weeks.
Yeah, no. So ProLine had like a big drip. It's called a drip campaign, where it has several text messages. Like after 1 week, send this. After 2 weeks, send this. After 3 months, send this. And so it would be very easy, like simple text, but it goes back to the rule of like, be the first and be the last to message somebody. That's who you sell. That's who you high convert.
Okay.
And so you just be top of mind. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, now is a good time. Thank you for actually sending that over. Are we able to get a revised proposal and we're ready to go now? But they actually helped build that out for us. The 2 owners, I've talked to them. They built it out for us.
1 second.
Yeah.
Do you think they would also be open to allowing us to market them for free?
Yeah, I'm sure. I actually talked to one of the owners. Was it when I was at the expo? I think they do like referral programs. They do all that stuff. So.
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
But yeah, no, it's. I don't know how high level you want to go. I don't know if it's too specific to lose people.
What's the most expensive most expensive mistake I ever made, and then what's the most expensive mistake you ever made in the business within that, like, let's say that first year, because I made a couple big ones. Just so you guys get context that we're not saying that we're experts here. We're just saying that we're applying ourselves every day.
Probably, I don't know, I'd say like a $25K mistake.
Was that the truck?
No, it wasn't even the truck.
What was that?
I think it was just bidding a job.
Was that the commercial one?
The tile one, I think.
Oh my God.
But
that was mine. What's yours?
Dude, mine's is way more.
Okay, but it's okay. I mean, we've obviously learned from it, and you're winning or learning and flying high, so keep going.
Mine's is probably like a $100K mistake. Like, it's just the early days of the business.
I can argue it's a little more based on what you said.
No, it can be more. Like, this is the thing. I think it's upwards of millions because it goes into the opportunity cost lost,
right.
Which is it's hard to quantify. They say it's not, like Alex says, I'm gonna chop this up. I don't know how to say it right, but it's like,
okay.
It's not. You not knowing how to make your first million is costing you $1 million.
Costing you $900,000, whatever you're currently making, right?
Because you are literally wasting time, just because you don't have the resources to do it. Like, it's costing you, because like now we know how to get to this level. It costed me all those times because I didn't want to invest in the right help. I didn't want to hire the right people because I thought it was too expensive back then, which it was.
But what's more expensive?
It's more expensive not to reach that goal. Like, that's more expensive.
So you couldn't quantify the risk versus reward ratio at that time?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
I didn't know what I didn't know. I mean, it's fine. Like, there's probably people listening to this podcast that are afraid to invest in like the right marketing agency, or afraid to invest in the right consulting or coaching.
Right.
Because it is a lot of money. Like, to someone who doesn't have anything and they want to spend like $1,000 a month or $1,500 a month or something, or $3,000 a month, like, it's just scary because you're playing with money you don't think you're getting back.
But you know good credit in a business and bad credit. Tell me bad credit versus good credit, please.
Yeah, bad credit was probably putting your vacation on the credit card, right. Or I don't know, buying clothes that's not associated to your business.
Right.
Because you can buy clothes for branding. That's good. But like, you need to have a direct return on that investment. So like, good credit or good debt is like wrapping your truck. Dude, we actually got a $325,000 job.
Because of the truck
wrap. We track it. We track every number has a specific tracking number, every truck. And so we were to track that job.
$325K.
Yeah. Justin sold that one.
That's sick. $325K for what, $5,000 investment?
Yeah. It's and it's still a good customer. It's a really good, it's a commercial job.
Right.
And they own multiple buildings. And I'm just like, damn, like, just by that self, like, I don't think we've gotten more jobs since, but like, just that one job, I was like, all right, paid it off.
Paid it off and then some, right? I mean, $325,000 for a $5,000 investment. I don't even know the ROI on that, but it makes sense. I mean, how long did that one take to come in since we wrapped that truck specifically, do you think? Ballparking.
That one was probably half a year.
Within 6 months, a $5,000 investment turned into $325K. That's literally that's half of a penny on the dollar. What part of your journey would you never want your kids to repeat? And your kids also pertains to your team in the most generic sense, and then your actual blood.
That's tough. I think it'd probably be around the first 2 years of business, because it is the most loneliest, the most stressful, because there's so much uncertainty. because you don't have time, you don't have money, and you don't have knowledge. You have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like starting level 1 of a game with no armor, no money, no resources. And so it goes back to what Alex says is like, as you play the game, you accumulate money, or you accumulate knowledge, or you accumulate resources. And as you conquer the next villain, the next level, the next dragon, you get stronger. But that level 1 is the hardest because it's just pure inner strength.
But
to continue to go.
But to go deeper into the lonesome part about it, tell me about that, because even I realized this, and it took me a little bit of time, but even as we were growing together in the first couple of years of business, I'm not sure exactly what point in time I came in at that mark where we were whatever, but I learned that we both had to be, or you already knew that, but I had to learn that we had to both as well excel alone in different locations, whether I'm doing inspections and then estimating at the end of the day and you're out, continuing to build the referral business. How did that embracing the lonesome time, the loneliness, even though you have a team around you, truly just define yourself, and what did you ultimately learn from it from the first 2 years of business? Because you said it was so painful.
Well, yeah, it's because you're around people that want to help the vision, but you're the only one that truly knows the financial state the business is, or the financial state that you are personally. It's like, so there's times where I didn't even have enough money for gas, and payroll wasn't even going to be met. But at the same time, you still have to take care of the customer. At the same time, you still have to physically wake up and be at Home Depot at 10 at night and fill up whatever it doesn't stop. That's the scary part. You are at 0 and you still need to keep going. Your tank is on empty physically, emotionally, and on your truck, and you cannot stop. And so there's a different level of, strength that comes from that. There is no excuse. You cannot stop. If you stop, everything stops. Everything you worked hard for. I left a good paying job to start that business. I was making 6 figures.
What was the switch? How did you know that you were ready?
I wasn't.
So what made you do it?
My body, my mind. So I was so overworked that I actually crashed my truck because I fell asleep on the freeway. And so my mindset was I'm working so hard for something that's not even mine. And so I was I want to build something that's going to change the life of my parents.
I remember you called me and told me about that. That's
so
crazy.
It's just my body told me, and then my boss eventually told me himself, because I told him there was an opportunity that came about, and I was already getting my license and all that, and he said, you should do it. Go, take that opportunity, take that leap.
Right.
He was very, very supportive.
Still to this day, by the way.
Yeah, to this day, he still helps me a lot.
Tell me about the influence and what you learned from him ultimately. And you could take a long-wind this. People need to hear it.
I don't know.
What's fair to say and safe to say without him getting mad?
No, in just an overview, this guy,
mm-hmm.
he oversees several roofing companies. I think it's above $100 million in roofing only, in commercial. And he built it from a company. I think he had graduated his MBA, came into the business with his dad, scaled it up to this massive, well-respected in the industry everywhere. And he was like a robot sometimes. He was able to recall specific numbers. He had a work ethic that, I try to keep up, and I think I'm able to emulate a lot of those things now. But again, it goes back to mindset. I'm only able to perform at the level I'm doing because I saw other people doing it. And then I'm like, oh, it's capable. It's actually possible.
Within reach.
Yeah, it's possible. It's there. It's working. It goes back to you realize how normal these people are. it looks hard because it's so far away. But once I started working, and now that I'm 5 years into the business, I'm like, he was just a normal guy, and he just kept doing these little wins. Like now I do things that I'm like, oh man, he used to do this. I'm like, cool, like I'm getting there.
Like clearing all of his emails before he left for the day, right?
Yeah, and now I do it, and I tell the guys, and they're like, I have this massive inbox full, and they're like, oh, I'll try. I'm just very busy. I'm just like, dude, like, it's those things that I'm like, I see why he did those, and it's very possible.
But you lead by example, right? It's like that's what I put in the podcast the other day. I had like a 5-minute short one. Like David Reyes doesn't ask anything of his team that he hasn't done and not willing to do.
Yeah.
How is that ultimately been able to propel your team when things are going wrong for them?
There's been times where I still have to step in just to prove to them, like, this is what you do in these tough situations. Like, for example, a customer who might have not been the happiest. I grab the phone, I call them right up and then in front of the team, and they see how the action I took. They take notes. Like last time, one of the team members said, like, "Oh, I see what you do when you go into a tough situation. You take a deep breath, and then you just do it." And I was like, "Yeah." Like I don't think about it anymore like that, but I guess that was how I started my process of doing tough things, and so now I see them doing the same thing. And so there's times where there's times where as humans we just don't want to do it. You're a little bit like, I really don't want to make that call. I really don't want to show up. I'm not feeling that way. But when you go into that door, you need to be like ready. The team needs to see that you're ready, and that's something that leaders, you can't fake it. It has to be in you, and you're just like 1, 2, 3, go. But you cannot be like, I don't know. You cannot read any amount of books to motivate you to do that.
What's a real like tough example like that happened in the past month that you did, that you showed by example for the guys to, follow suit?
Yeah, I mean, we got a bad review the other day.
What'd they say?
They said a lot of things, but it was mostly because of communication on the install. Dude, we turned that into a 5-star review.
So what did you do to change it?
I called up the customer.
What did he say? Or she say? What did he?
He was just saying, he was like, "Oh, I really just wish they would have communicated with me on the section they were working on. I thought they were doing everything, and they had sold only a certain section." He said that he didn't read the proposal all the way. So, but you cannot say that to a customer,
right?
So you have to bite the bullet. The sales guy was like, "It's in the proposal." And I looked at it, and it was in there. And so the team did what they were supposed to. So I called them up, and I introduced myself, and I apologized. Regardless of who was right or not, I said, "Look, this is my community. I'm from Pasadena. I like to take care of my people. You're my people because this is my hometown. What can we do to make this right?" And we ended up making it right.
That's a great thing. How do you make it right? Like, for example, do you always put it in their court for it to make it right, or do you propose a solution? So you're like, look, can we shake hands after this?
You first have to, yes, that too. But you first just have to listen to them to see what they're actually complaining about. Mm-hmm. And then you agree, regardless of what they're saying.
Right.
You agree and you let them feel heard, because they should be heard. Everybody's feelings are valid.
Right.
But sometimes emotions translate from like their personal life into a business deal.
Right.
And so I heard him out. We made it right. We sent our best guy out there to fix it. He was so happy that he said, because I had mentioned that I want to be mayor of Pasadena.
Right.
He said, "David, like, the world needs more people like you. If you ever do run for mayor, you're happy to put a sign on my lawn." And he gave us a 5-star review. And the crazy part is that a lot of his reviews, because you can see the past history of people's reviews,
right?
They were all bad to other people, other companies. Whether it be a laundromat, whether it was like, he left so many bad reviews in other people. And we were the only 5-star review. And I'm just like,
that speaks volumes.
We went above and beyond. But it sucks. I mean, we when we get a bad review, I mean, people do. What we do differently is we actually call a customer. We've had multiple, like we've changed without even asking of them to change the review. We never say, hey, can you change your review? We do this. Never say that.
Right.
They've changed it themselves.
Right, because ultimately you hear them out. You make sure that they feel heard. You make sure that you show that you're compassionate, because things go wrong all the time in contracting. And then what you do is take it to the next level by asking them, what can we do to make it right? I mean, truly, I made the mistake of proposing solutions to make it right. And they're like, well, since it's not my idea, I don't like the idea. Yeah. So when did you learn that if you ask them the right question, then you're going to get the result you want?
I think it just goes back to just listening. Like, it's not even like the outcome. The outcome, it's just listening to them. Just, I think the way I go into conversation sometimes is thinking what's going on in their personal life. Because I'm sure anybody listening to this, or you or anybody, has had days where maybe something in life is not, the best at that point in time. It brings down your mood. It brings down the way you talk to somebody. Right. Like, what if they're just going through it? And so you just want to listen and say, hey, in a tone where you understand, like, I completely get it. I'm so sorry. Like, this happened to you. We have plenty of things happening in each other's lives. And you deserve not to have another stress over your head. And then when they say yeah, when they say, well, thank you, that's when you brought it to a level where you can actually talk. You cannot start a conversation that high up in intensity and in stress, anxiety. You guys need to come to a level of, like, we both took a sigh. Where do we go from here? Now we're at the table. Now we're talking. It's no longer defensive ping pong.
So it turns into a partnership again.
Yeah, it turns into, how can we make this better? We've had this situation. There was one customer where they were like, okay, how is this going to happen? What are we going to do? And I was like, my goal here is, because they owned a certain type of business where they provided, I guess I'll change the name of the business and the service, so that way.
Okay.
Let's just say they made ice cream. Right?
Okay.
And then my whole thing was, my whole goal is that at the end of this, you and I can sit in your store and we can enjoy a nice ice cream. And they were happy about how I said that. Pretty much saying, like, I don't want to leave this transaction right here regretting each other's presence.
Right.
So it goes back to my theme of the quarter. It's how deep can I go into a connection instead of going an inch wide or an inch deep and a mile wide. It's how can I go a mile deep within the people that I touch. And I've been doing that with local business networks. I've been doing that with other people in my life. It's getting so deep that they all become, like, strong components of who you are in your brand.
Wow.
It goes a long way. It's a whole crazy theme that been working on.
That's insane. So if you had to start from zero today with no network all over again, but you kept the knowledge, first point of business, and this as well, no salespeople, starting all over. Mm-hmm. First 30 days, what are you doing?
Coaching.
Yeah. Elaborate.
If I have the knowledge, then you use it. It's someone out there is willing to. I think a lot of people realize they have a lot of built up history where they know something really well. They just haven't used it.
How would you build your credibility within a coach? If, like, let's say somehow, like, your business was stolen and your name was stolen, how would you build that credibility with that person? Would you just ask them the right questions?
I think knowledge is the easiest leverage because you can't fake knowledge. Like, if you're around if I'm around a whole bunch of contractors and I'm from zero, the talking about your conversion rate, talking about ad spend, talking about your sales process, your customer journey, when you start saying all these things, they're gonna be like, this guy knows something. Like, this guy, you cannot fake that. You cannot just memorize that.
Yeah, because most contractors, I mean, probably 80% of contractors don't actually know their metrics.
Yeah.
Their cost per
So knowledge is
acquisition.
one of those unique ones.
Right.
That's why I say, like, if anybody's listening to this, like, they might have some sort of knowledge in a different industry.
Right.
Whether it be food service, whether it be, like, tech. A lot of us try to look for the next shiny thing instead of, like, looking within what thing they're actually good at already.
How to grow within what they're doing.
Yeah, like, no, I wish I would have made this decision way earlier. I thought roofing was just a means to an end, just to pay my way through college. It turned out it was a whole life-changing thing for everybody around me.
How have you implemented with each client? Because, like, there's different ways in roofing when you're a creative roofing contractor like yourself to not only take care of the roof, how do you implement that maintenance program for them, and how do you ensure that you get them to sign up for that? Is that on the initial, after the install? What do you do?
Just a follow-up sequence.
Okay.
Again, you don't want to. You're building a relationship with them. You're not trying to sell them something else right there and then for something else. So right now we're implementing follow-up drip campaigns. We're doing AI follow-ups now. We're implementing like referral boxes, and so seasonal messaging. Like our marketing team the other day sent out a storm alert because we had really harsh winds in our area, and we booked, I think it was five inspections just that day, just that campaign from past customers who might need the maintenance now. But it's after being there for them when they might need it the most that we're able to bring that extra value.
That's absolutely right, man. And that's the whole point, right? Value. The suck is where the value lives. And most people won't agree with it, but like getting up, going to the gym, reading, putting in those extra hours after you've already put in a 10-hour day. Like there's so many times that David and I was like, dude, I'm done. And he's like, okay, like no worries, man. Like go get some rest. And like he wouldn't tell me, but he would stay for a couple hours and then he beats me to the office. And I'm like, dude, like what? Like, are you a robot? And I would just be like, yeah, he's a bot, you know? But he's a robot because when you know where you're going, these things become easier, right? And let's go back to a time travel question, right? If we can go back in time, we start over. How would we have kept our admin, or not even that, how would we have kept the right mindset, the right application? Because I remember there was a lot of mistakes I made along the way, but like, what would we have done differently, both you and I, to like ensure that we didn't have that $100,000 mistake, my $30,000 mistake, and my $10,000 mistake with the truck, which ultimately I still to this day will plead that I put in the right gas. I couldn't get the video extracted, but let's go from there.
Those mistakes they say that every rule, every lesson is written with blood, meaning that you or somebody had to have learned that lesson the hard way.
Right.
If I had to go back in time, I would have really one-on-one, like a really deep one-on-one conversation with someone already doing the thing that I wanted to do. Because the first 2 years, we didn't learn from people that were in residential roofing with a business that's winning. We were trying to do it ourselves. We had to learn those lessons ourselves because we didn't seek the help. No one showed us the blueprint. If I had to go back in time, I would hire or pay money for a coach with weekly meetings and maybe checkups of, hey, am I doing this right? But we were so new into the space that I don't think there was anybody there. Now you see a lot of wannabe gurus. But back then, we were the first ones to have like a tech stack. Roofing companies were like, what is a tech stack? What is tech?
And we show them like, how do you do that? It's like you discovered fire before fire was invented.
So we were just muscling through it. So, I mean, back then you didn't have gurus like Alex even. You didn't have people like the Cardone Ventures. Like everything was just so new. And so I'm actually thankful that we actually put our heads down and did it the way we did it, because I know a little bit about a lot of things where I'm able to be dangerous in like marketing and dangerous in like the production side. I was in production, but like in sales or like in tech, dude, like I'm doing things with tech right now that I would have never imagined. Like I'm coding hella dashboards that tie into our CRMs. I'm creating bots, and I'm just like, I'm glad I was able to at least dabble in the e-commerce space long enough for me to know what all these terms are.
Talk about leveraging AI in your business and businesses that are congruent and how it will propel them to get more leads on their website, which is the ultimate salesperson.
Right now we have an AI agent bot that does my full day of work in an hour.
What? 1 hour, one AI agent, and full day of work is 10 to 12 hours, right?
Yeah.
So, and when you say it does your work, can you elaborate on that?
It literally goes in and does everything for me.
Okay. So what do you do then? Just so I understand, because that's awesome. Like, that's cool.
I know. I think we're very new to this. I haven't talked to anybody who's done this yet. So that's why I'm not talking too much about it, because it's a really
Learning process.
It's our secret weapon.
He just gave you a gem that we're not even going to elaborate on. Keep going.
But technology is so crazy right now that if they're falling behind on just learning about AI, like the minimum standard is you at least need to know automations or what that is in your business.
Right.
Some people don't even know what that is, which is like, what happens when you get a lead? Do they get a text? Do they get a call? Like, what happens? Like, a lot of people, like this one contractor I was telling you about, he had a really good ad that he probably spent a lot of money on, like producing the ad, and the ad spend, but it would go into not even it didn't even have a voicemail with the business in it.
No voicemail?
Very young guy, I'm telling you, young guy and his dad.
Wow.
Latino. And so I called him. I said, hey, man, I was like, I really like what you're doing. You know, maybe we can get together for coffee or something. Like, it goes back to my whole, I want to go deeper with relationships. And I haven't told him what I thought about it, because I don't want to be the type of guy to just dive in and be like, hey, you should fix this.
Yeah.
Until we're actually sitting down and listening.
And there's a connection there. There's an energy exchange. There's the collaboration that becomes the ultimate currency between you two. And then you show that you're invested. Like, hey, here's the research I've done. Here's what you can do if you find it of value, and blah, blah, blah. Aside to everything as well, by just asking them questions and listening, right?
Yeah. This guy's from Pasadena too. So I'm like,
Dean in the house.
I'm trying to level up anybody in the area that can be of a good team. I was telling my brother, I was like, I have dinner with a group of young entrepreneurs once a month or once a quarter.
Right.
There's 5 of them. They're all young. They're all like 25 to like 33.
Different industries?
Different industries.
Okay.
A really, really high-end window cleaner.
Okay.
One is like owns a maid service.
Right.
One owns a solar solar cleaning business.
Solar cleaning, nice.
Yeah, and we just do this. These are just young guys, like hungry. And
is it Palm Coast Solar Cleaning?
No.
Okay.
No, these guys are different areas, different industries. Like one's in like Beverly Hills, one's in like the Valley.
Right.
But we just talk about life and like talk about how we can like. To be honest, a lot of the time was them listening to me talk. They're a little bit smaller.
Right.
But I was telling my brother and other people that I coach, sometimes listening to yourself talk out loud, because it triggers things that you didn't even know was in your brain. You're like, oh shoot, you're right, like that. Like you remind yourself of the things that were really important.
Right.
So I like to coach as a way of like really, really soaking in the knowledge that I have.
That is a great topic, and that you taught me before, right? Like, I remember asking you, like, man, like, now that I'm starting to learn this, like, how do I make sure that it's, like, embedded with me? He's like, well, talk about it with other people. Teach other people. Yeah. Teach other people within the organization. Spend more time with them. Yeah. Do what you said, deepen the relationship by just kind of understanding where they're coming from, right? So with that said, now that you have, like, true authority, right? Not that you had it before, but there's proven metrics behind it, right? Yeah. And you're deepening your relationships and you're teaching people. At what point or at any point do you ever feel comfortable charging for consulting services? Because this is a premier service that you're offering. And right now you're still doing it for nothing, for free, for just the exchange, which is awesome. Yeah, I've been doing it for free. I've been having just 15, 30-minute calls for free. We've been working on, so we got a book written now, and we have a whole
what is it, a course written now. We have everything there. We just haven't sold it. We just haven't even marketed it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know. Like I feel
It's already
bad
on the
charging.
website
It's on a website already.
to purchase.
Yeah.
Or it's for free.
No, it's on a website.
So how much is it?
What do I have it at? I think it's like a 1 hour like deep dive into your business, where we go over like the 4 central pillars of like operations, finance, people,
Right.
and revenue. I think it's like 100 an hour or something like that.
That's nothing.
It's nothing.
You
but-
could charge $3,000 for the day. Just so you're aware, if you need that David Reyes, I'm gonna get a referral-based incentive on the fact. Keep going, sir.
I built out free giveaways, like
Mhm.
free roofing calculator,
Right.
things that we use in our business when we're at 1 to 3, just literally free giveaways. And then I
Right.
built a whole course. So I am trying to get a group of people together to do like a inner circle kind of thing, where it's like 5 people
Mhm.
only. There's been people that reached out to me, but I'm only gonna pick 5
Right.
for like a 90-day challenge, where like they pay to be in it,
Okay.
and we help them grow to a certain level.
Right.
Um,
How do you help them grow specifically? Through marketing, through campaigns, through what?
Everything. There's a roofing contractor from San Francisco
Okay.
that I had one call with, and he's like, David, bro, thank you so much. Like, I know exactly what to do now. It's just the right knowledge. You have the resources at that 1 million to 2 million. You have enough money to pivot.
Especially if you have a credit line too.
Yeah. But some things that I told this guy, just so you guys can know, it was he was still doing roof inspections himself. He was doing sales himself, and his close rate is really high.
How high? 80?
No, not that high. Like 40%.
That's good.
For-
40 is fire.
And he has a guy who takes care of production already. And I
So
was
he has a
like,
production manager?
kind of, yeah.
Okay.
A guy who installs himself and manages the little crew, right?
Right.
And he says, David, what can I do right now to like help elevate? I was like, and I went back to the 4 pillars. He has jobs booked up until June. And he's at 1.5. He's trying to get to 3 this year.
With your help, he is.
Yeah, easily. No, I was like, just this piece of advice. I was like, bro, what do you spend most of your time doing? So we did a time audit on his time. And it turns out he is spending 5 out of the 10 hours he works a day driving,
Right.
doing inspections.
Right.
And I was like, bro, is there anybody in your business right now that speaks English and that knows roofing? He goes, yeah, my cousin. He's like, he does installs. I'm like, can you tell me more about him? And he tells me, guy tried to go to community college. Good, he can learn. And I was like, you need to replace yourself in the it's low frequency, high time consuming
Leverage. Right.
thing. Yeah, and I let him know what the script should be for being an inspector. I let him know what a role of an inspector should be doing, how to keep track of it in his CRM. He didn't have a CRM, so I told him which one to use. And so now he's going to bring in an inspector
Right.
to go to all these appointments himself, and he himself can work on proposals and close more.
Right.
And then I told him, I was like, I can already anticipate what your next problem is going to be, and I prepared him for the next problem because I already know the cycle.
Right.
Yeah. So
Being that you know the cycle, though, right? And being that you're going to empower these people, right? And being that it's going to be an exclusive group first, right? After the fact, I mean, is there any room for you looking to monetize that at the scale that makes sense for you, right? Because now with these tools that you're utilizing, you pretty much just said that your time has freed up to ultimately get the right amount of capital to rinse and repeat, even though you have the processes in place,
yeah.
and to, ultimately retire the family and create an environment for your team, yourself, your girlfriend, your family, the people you care about. Where do we go from here, man? Like, let's go. Where do we go?
I just need a salesperson.
Is there okay, for acquisitions, that's me. There we go. And is there any room for angel investing into other industries, like for example, what we're doing when the time is right, because there's so much value now and so much different people that we're going to be able to touch now. Is there any room for that down the line for you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But the thing is that I learned this the hard way from a mentor. It's that you need to do the thing within the circle that you're already working in.
For sure.
So like for me, my circles are owning a roofing business, coaching in roofing, and then buying businesses in roofing, and then
within the area.
Within the area, yeah.
Within from San Diego, Orange County, Los Angeles.
You'd be surprised. I've been talking to roofing companies all across.
What about the Bay?
California. Yeah, I've talked to people in the Bay Area. Dude, I talked to a business in the Bay Area.
Silicon Valley.
But it was a bad business, man. It was in San Francisco.
What was bad about it?
Bro, so many things. Things where I'm like, oof, we're in much better position than I ever thought.
What is authorized for you to share that they should have been doing that looks good on paper?
Dude, they were over leveraged. I think they were like around 3 million. They had like 7 trucks. I can talk about that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I just won't say the name and stuff but they were extremely in debt. The thing I saw too, a lot of people in debt are the ones who did solar. Who did solar for people? Like they did roofing for solar people.
The liability.
No, they're just going out of business. They didn't get paid. Solar companies went down under.
Mm-hmm.
And now their clients are like their source of sales completely wiped out because they were relying heavily on solar people's sales. You get me?
I do. It makes sense. I mean,
there's a lot of roofing businesses going out of business.
Have a solar background too, and it's a tough business. It's a great business, but it's a business that has completely changed within just the 2 years, the past year, the 3 year, the 5 year mark.
Just as of January, because the incentives are gone in California.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
What's the most pressure you've ever felt in your career as Mr. GLR?
Well, it was definitely at the beginning. Yeah.
When?
This was like first year.
Specify.
No, actually second year. Because first year it's like, how do I get clients? Like I had to learn this. But the second year I had people working, I had people on payroll, bills were overdue. There was issues happening in the business. And dude, that and I'll talk about this maybe in the future. That second year, all the things that went wrong that year. You know some of the stories. I don't think you haven't wrapped your head around it. But
should I have?
A lot of things happened all at once.
You're right.
But now I would say that the second toughest was probably 6 months ago. 6 months ago, because we were growing so fast that I had to level up myself in order to handle all the new people, all the new departments, how to structure everybody.
Right. But when you mean you're growing so fast, so that means you had to literally fix the current systems you have to for the rapid growth?
Yeah. The last 6 months, like not the consecutive 6 months, literally 6 months ago from today, I had to work as hard as I did that first or second year. Like I was working super, super late. Like it felt like that vibe. It felt like.
But tell me it didn't feel good though.
But it felt nice to like be able to be in that grind one more time. And I don't know if you've seen Alex's videos where it's phases. And he enjoys that, the season of just fucking little bit of degeneracy to like over caffeinated in the office,
Zenned
lights
out.
off, just freaking working, dude.
Zenned out, headphones on.
And the thing is that I was actually sober.
See? So tell me about that, because we have a lot to go. We got to go into that.
Yeah.
Go into this. There's a year pretty much that David committed and ultimately found and implemented and learned about himself. Not that he hasn't prior, but he learned different things. Tell me about this. Go for it.
Yeah, so I had to put the team first, right? And I wasn't even like, College, I was a big drinker, but in business, I don't think I ever went off the rails on things.
Right.
But like, if you do, like, say you go out on a Friday night, that fogginess carries out through like Saturday, Sunday. You're just super lazy, and there's a thing about being like super lazy on a Sunday that it's hard to like wake up and on a Monday. It's not even like you don't. It's like you over rest. Maybe it was just for me. If my Sunday was spent doing nothing, resting, Monday felt really hard to get up. I don't know why.
Doing nothing. Okay, so go for it. Go for it.
So, but that was a repetitive cycle from me drinking on a Friday or Saturday. It's because we're getting old too. But so I was like, I really need to focus on my time, and I really need to focus because everybody's freaking. I have people from that are either in college, graduated, or people who have kids. I have people in my team that need me, and if I'm over here drinking or on a Sunday not doing anything, then I'm not doing everything I can. And so for the past year, I locked in where like I was working 7 days a week, nonstop. Like Saturday, Sunday was like growth, like listening to podcasts. I put it up on my TV, listen to all these YouTube videos, like nonstop. And I wasn't drinking, so I was like, I felt really good.
Would you say diet is mental and diet is what you listen to?
Yeah, it's a. You said it was a diet. Yeah,
No,
what appetite do you have to soak in that work? Because there's people out there who it might be Friday in their mind, their appetite turns into party weekend mode. But dude, those are like what 72 hours that can compound your growth. If you're doing it every single week, you get back so much time compared to your competitor. And so I actually love this. I would it'd be Friday night. I'm still working, and I would see everybody, my competitors, going out to go drink. Like they post this stuff, dude. I don't know why you're a business owner posting like drinking. Anyways,
yeah, agreed.
I would be like, it would motivate me more. I would go back to work. I literally will go back to work.
You're taking a little break.
Take a little break. I would look forward to waking up on a Saturday morning at like 7, 8. And being in the office and just
it's quiet.
It's quiet. You just know you're in front. And it's not even competing against others, it's competing against your old self.
Competing from the person you were the day before. And
so like me, I'm just like, oh man, like the first year me could never. The second year never could. Like I always say like my third year's me. I'd refer to myself in a different point of view. He could never. And I'm gonna say that next year. Like this guy at 10 million could never. Hopefully operating at 40 million.
What are you guys at right now?
Right now we're trending for 10, but we haven't finished everything that we've.
Right, you haven't turned everything on. It's just time.
We just deployed the AI agent to all other departments today. I had been working on it for the past month, training it, coaching it,
monitoring it,
everything, bro. There's so many things. There's an org chart for it. They have their own org chart.
Yep.
It's not just one.
Yep.
It's 10 of them. They're running.
Tell them. They're not going to do it anyways. Most of them aren't going to do it anyways.
And I'll say it. I'll say high level stuff like we're burning little to no tokens. We're running local models. We have a Mac studio. We have 4 Mac minis, and they're all working together. Every night we're doing cron jobs, learning, stacking. Every night they're extracting from our mentors. Every night they're pulling pulse updates and sending into the Slack channels. Every night, every single night. And I've been using it, and I was able to compound my work ethic, my output in the past 3 months. But now today was finished, and before I came here, I had a meeting with them during an executive meeting, and I deployed it to every department.
Would you say it's an accident, or we're supposed to be here today?
No, maybe. I don't know.
You don't believe in coincidences?
No, I believe in being prepared for the right time. It's not like how people say like it's not getting lucky. Lucky is when preparation meets timing. Nothing's a coincidence if you're always ready.
Victory loves preparation. You're right.
Yeah, nothing's a coincidence if you're always ready. Yeah.
And keep going. So you deployed it today.
Yeah.
With it being deployed today, what is the timeline of? We're not sharing everything, right? I think we lost a little bit of light there. being that the deployment, right? What is the target that you're allowed to share with us today?
Well, with these new advances, like, man, I wish you would be in these marketing calls we have. Like, the things we're doing, we haven't fully, like, reached our potential.
No, not
Like,
even a little bit.
And so, I mean, we can say what we're on track for, and then we can say a number we want to hit. Like, we'd like to hit 20 million this year. Like, we're pushing for that. We know a number, and all the salespeople know that's the number. They know it's 1.65 a month or something like that. That's what they aim for every month. But now we have the resources to do that. Now we have, or we're constantly hiring new salespeople. We're constantly hiring new inspectors.
Mm-hmm.
Now we know what marketing works, and what platforms, at what level, at what ad spend.
Because you're monitoring, and you have the metrics, and you have the platform to track and watch and have it. For the marketing metrics alone, how many different subsections fall under that? Just so I'm aware.
Shoot. I think it's 100.
100. Name off the first 10 that come to your mind.
Right, we have like 100 marketing campaigns that we track, and I mean, off the top, like just the highlight, because those have subgroups.
Mm-hmm.
We have LSA, Google Ads, PPC.
Right.
We have Yelp. We have our trucks. We have ad numbers on different, like, people like Chamber of Commerce. We have Meta. We have
That's amazing.
direct mail. We have a lot of direct mail now.
Have you been handwriting any of it too?
Yeah, we have.
That's
We
awesome.
found an agency that does it for us.
Nice.
So they handwrite it for us.
Shock and
So-
awe boxes. You got new boxes getting sent out.
Yeah, everything is being tracked, but you obviously see which ones have been working. You can tell because we track leads, we track booked inspections, we track sales, we track revenue, we track cost, and we're able to see which ones are clear winners. And we haven't even like hit the. I explained to everybody, like, there's certain levels of a cap per your location, per platform. For example, Google ad spend.
Right.
We haven't even hit the cap yet, but we've seen a decline.
Right.
We're just still trying to find the ceiling. In Pasadena, it's around 5 miles, 10 miles.
Just Pasadena?
All our work is still around Pasadena. Bro, you should see our map. We don't drive more than 30 minutes at all. Like, and so
Optimized.
that's what I'm saying. There's a ceiling.
Right.
Like, we think it's around 20 million a year. We think, since we haven't done it. Then it's like the acquisition, the buying the smaller one in OC, the buying the smaller one in Inland Empire, and just implementing the same stuff that's already there. It's already there, dude. It's just timing.
What are how about this? How did success change your friendships for the better and for the worse?
I don't think it changes friendships. I think it just, because everybody just has busy lives. Like, whenever I come together with friends that were friends from the start,
Mm-hmm.
we don't even talk about work. Like, we talk about the good old days or how they're doing, and we just joke. So when it comes to friendship, I don't think it doesn't change you. They see, like, business. They say success enhances what you've already been. What it does
that's fair.
change,
Yeah.
what it does change is,
Perception.
yeah, perception, but also the want for them to succeed too, right? Like, and this is where it does change. Sometimes, like, some of our friends, we don't see them every weekend. If we did see them every weekend, eventually you would have to start talking about something else because those stories would get old, right? There's people out there who see the same group of friends every weekend that are doing the same exact thing. Eventually you don't have anything to talk about besides your work week. And if you come off a little bit too, I don't know,
Sharp.
literally ambitious and
Yeah.
sharp, they will think that you're just, I don't know, you're full of yourself in a way. It comes off that way for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're really just trying to encourage them to be like, hey, did you hear about this new AI agent bot? I'm using it for this. Like, you guys should try it out for that. They would probably be like, we're not trying to talk about work and stuff right now. Like, you want to surround yourself by the same group of ambitious friends with similar goals. And there's different types of friends, there's friends from high school. There's friends in business. That's why I like to go out with people who have the same goals as you.
Right.
Right? Like, the conversations are just that much sweeter because everybody has seasons. It's like I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing. You just find new friends that are more aligned with you at that period of time. Like at our wedding, like my wedding, I would probably have the same friends from high school. It goes back to like what season you're in. You're not trying to hang out with everybody from high school all the time. It takes you away from your goal.
And what's something about you could say it from whatever point of success, and we both know that success is a realization of a worthy ideal, and success is a choice that you make on your own doing after you doing your own pros and cons list. But what did nobody really truly warn you about when you became successful on paper or online? What came about that you weren't prepared for or didn't foresee?
Probably the perception of people does change towards you. But like I think I've done a good job of being humble with how I like carry myself. But people tend to feel like you have it figured out and that you still work too much, and especially family will try to be like, oh, you should stop working as much. I wish somebody would have told me sooner that your circle changes, as simple as that. And they say surround yourself by people that want the same thing as you, but they never say that sometimes you lose circles for that new circle.
And that just happens organically as you
It just
build
happens
value,
organically.
right?
Yeah. It just happens organically.
Being that you're at the point now where you're leveraging AI, you're utilizing your team to the best, you're leveraging leading by example. I really love, and I'm going to come back, the point that you said that you're going to run for governor, you're going to run for the committee here at Pasadena, you're going to run for presidency, like how I told you years ago. I wrote a note for my boy.
I don't think about presidency.
That's a whole other topic. We're not going to get political, but I did tell him in writing to kind of just embrace the person you're becoming. And obviously he does by just doing it. He doesn't say it. He's a true, like, again, you guys can laugh if you want. I truly don't give a fuck. Embody the person you become, like a philosopher, like Marcus Aurelius, like a true individual who leads by example, like King David in this case, right? So with that said, how have you embodied the person you become? Because there is times where, maybe I'm wrong here, but I've seen that there was so many things going wrong at the time. You still had a positive outlook, you still had faith, but there was times where like you weren't losing belief, but you were like questioning, right? And you're not doubting, but not fully believing as technically as I would want you to, right? In that this light. How have you been able to embody even more the person you're becoming by just doing it? Or like what does that process look like for Donale?
Yeah, I guess to start off with, I've always been a little bit optimistic as a natural person. Through sports, you get sort of like that underdog adrenaline, where like I always thought myself as an underdog, and so it kind of made you feel like whatever happens, it's still better than when I started. But once you start turning into not an underdog, like now I see the younger companies, the smaller companies, you start shifting into more of like a leadership, where you're at foot. There's this really good analogy that I've learned from Tony Robbins and Alex. My push, my drive got me to where I wanted. My competitiveness.
He's referencing a certain podcast, by the way. Keep going.
My anger.
Right.
I've always been super competitive, but on the outside, I'm always very calm.
Right.
But now where I'm at, I have like a pull force where my pull is like the families of my employees being able to like get rewarded, or like my parents being rewarded, or like seeing something beautiful we're building as a team. It's not much anger anymore. And so you shift from underdog thinking to more of like, how can I fill more of people's cups along this way before it's over? And so it goes back to positiveness, but now I know there's ways out of everything. Like
Right.
Now it's sometimes it's a phone call away. I just call somebody, they give me info, I do it. Back then there was no AI back then. There was no resources on my phone. There was nothing back then. Back
There
then
were
it was
resources
just,
on your phone, not ones that maybe we didn't realize at the time,
yeah, I guess so.
right?
Yeah, but I didn't use them. That's the thing. It goes back to I didn't use them.
The action part, yeah.
I didn't use them well enough. I didn't. I should have gone out of my comfort zone more to talk personally to these leaders. Back then, I don't think they would have talked to much people though, because a lot of back then the culture, business owners don't want to talk about their business. Now it's become a brand thing. Now it's become like a whole different culture. But back then,
We're still going on these value success questions. You've achieved massive success, but what part of your life feels less successful?
what part of my life feels less successful?
Or what part of your life feels like, okay, I need to turn this up like to the next level, or else I'm like a fiasco, even though you're not.
It'd probably be health.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd probably be health. Which, it's something that we got on track for
Yeah.
this past month.
Yeah.
It has stopped a little bit.
Okay.
Because I've been,
Deploying 10 AI agents,
yeah, man.
studying, monitoring,
I could
implementing,
not
creating.
I would literally wake up in the middle of the night thinking about solutions that I can deploy
Would you write them
as
down?
soon as I wake up.
Or just
No, I would just try to force myself to sleep, and as soon as I would wake up, it was like that Tony Stark meme, of like you snap, everything's popping up, and I'm just prompting, creating.
it's in the scopes, baby.
It was an orchestra of like, and then things would break, bro. That broke a lot,
What do you mean?
but I fixed it.
What broke?
There's certain things that you need to do properly, or else it would break.
Oh, like within the bot.
Yeah,
Right.
where it was no longer responsive,
Yeah.
and you need to fix it a certain way. And I learned all the ways to fix it. I learned all the ways to recover it. I learned how to talk to it through my phone,
Yeah.
and it could do things right now from this phone that 10 virtual assistants cannot do. And it would do this in like 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Whatever you want it to do, whatever you need, like it can do it.
Yeah. So with that said,
I'm telling you, bro, like whatever we're talking about in this podcast, in roofing specifically, you're probably not going to see until the next 3 years.
but we're doing it now.
Other industries are probably going to be doing it now and within like the next month. But other industries, I'm talking about tech industries. Like if you go and see the infrastructure we have running all this stuff on,
Right.
it's like a small tech startup.
How does that change the EBITDA for Green Ladder Roofing?
Oh, it's not calculated. That's the fun part.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Meaning that the EBITDA is technically untrackable. So meaning, and this is what I told you from the jump, Green Ladder Roofing doesn't go anywhere ever to anybody besides the Reyes last name. Am I right?
What do you mean?
That the Reyes last name stays within Green Ladder Roofing no matter what. You can't ever truly sell it. You can maybe sell stock. You can maybe sell buying in, but you cannot, or you can if you want, of course. But from what I see it, or the way I see it, and I'm probably wrong here, but you just now have more OPM options if you so choose, because there's not a point of selling it, because you could either keep it within the family, And if the family doesn't want it, fine. The bot will run it for you. But that's going to be the generational wealth for the next however long until we, go back up to the kingdom and chill with God.
I think to rephrase it, there
Yes.
is,
Mm-hmm.
we've got an approach for certain things
Okay.
where they want us to be the platform,
Okay.
which is the leading company to help roll up everything else.
Right.
Consider it like a Tommy Mello.
Tommy Mello. Keep going. For the people who don't know Tommy Mello, please elaborate a little further.
Tommy Mello has grown a garage door business to $250 million a year. He's trying to grow it to $1 billion a year in home service space.
Right.
And so he became the face, and his company became the brand name because he had everything so structured, and
Right.
because he himself is an admirable guy who like learns and like implements all these teachings.
Right.
That whoever backed him up, like a venture capitalist, whatever it was, private equity, they gave him the money, they bought him, but they also they allowed him to keep a certain amount of the money or a certain amount of the business
Right.
to help lead the way in buying all these smaller garage door companies.
And excuse me, I'm still listening. With the garage door companies, now go back in. I interrupted you. I didn't mean to, but people still need it. We need to constantly provide value, which we've been doing. But keep going. Now that you said you're rephrasing the EBITDA and my question, go for it.
Things are you can't quantify the result of this AI deployment because it hasn't happened yet. This is the first time in history that an AI agent bot can do the work of about 15 people. This bot does not sleep. It doesn't eat. It doesn't need to go to the bathroom. It is constantly just running and working.
Right. Meaning that you have this thing running 24/7, am I right?
It's connected to everything.
24/8?
Yeah. It has scheduled jobs for itself that I've made so
Wow.
that when I'm sleeping, it's able to know what the next step is and continue on working. But
What's a belief you had 5 years ago that you're embarrassed to say by now?
3 million was the goal.
3 million wasn't even the starting point, huh? I mean, with what you just told me?
Nope.
Can you tell me a little bit about how switch tasking as a salesperson hurts the organization?
Switch tasking?
For example, the things that we needed to do as an organization, me running out to run an inspection, coming back, working on an estimate. Oh, shoot, I have to go back and meet with this client. Oh, wait, now I also have to go pull a permit. Oh, wait, I need to do this, I need to do that. So how does that affect the overall sales process and the true metrics of closing?
Well, I mean, when you're first starting off, you need to do that. You have nobody else. You don't have any more money
Right.
to hire people yet.
But later.
I think the true hurt that comes from what you just said is that you're so busy doing the day-to-day tasks that you don't take a step back and map out what you're doing to be ready to hand it off to somebody, and then they do it.
Right, create a right roadmap and right SOPs.
You need to create the right SOPs, the right customer journey to be able to teach it to somebody else before you even hire them.
Right.
Because if you hire them before, you're going to waste a lot of money. They're going to probably cost you money because they're going to make a lot of mistakes.
And I'm asking you this because after we had a little bit more dialed in, I didn't realize all this switch tasking, right? Like making content, doing this, doing that, which is all great, but it still falls down to the bottom line, right? And something I had to learn, and then something I got called out on by you, which was a good thing. And it took a little bit of time to get called out on, but it's just because you also believed in the vision. But with that said, like, and then that next month there was a clear difference, right? With that said, how do we as a culture in the roofing contracting space implement that to ensure that that salesperson understands the value in each lead, that each cost per acquisition, and is dialed in from 10:30 to 8 p.m. in your case within your business?
That's the thing, that there's no magic answer
Right.
without knowing who are you talking about, where are they at in revenue, what are their current systems. There's no one magic bullet. Like, that's why these are the questions I ask when I coach somebody. What's your revenue? How many people do you have?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how much do you have an infrastructure built out? What's your CRM? Because if you tell me that same thing, like, what can my sales guy do? And this guy is a sales guy that's at a $10 million company. Your sales guy should only be closing. That's all his focus. He shouldn't even be building his own proposals. That's what we're getting to with his AI bot.
Right.
He should just be closing.
On calls.
Driving, closing to the, going to home center, closing or closing over the phone. That is it. But if you're telling that to a sales guy who's at a $1 million to $3 million company, he's probably still doing all those things.
But you should have to.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, right. So it goes back to like, if you're trying to do the majority of people under $3 million, and you ask the same question, I would ask, is that guy an employee or is he an owner?
Right. So it's
all different.
It all varies. It varies.
That's why discovery calls are very important, because everyone has their own high leverage fix, but you really need to know that business. These things can be fixed fast, but some people take advice from the generic people. It's so surface level that it's not going to affect you as much as you want it to, because it's not for you. It's like if I take advice from Alex right now, and he says, go buy a new business, or go buy, I'm like, with how? Like, I don't have the lever, like, I don't have that resources. That wasn't meant for me. Certain videos are meant for certain people.
Right.
So we got to learn how to, like, have critical thinking skills to pull from those things. And so when you ask that question, like, if it was more specific, I can help you so much.
So let's specify here, like, you can, as a salesperson, sales representative coming in, new sales guy.
Can you sales guy?
Explain to me your roadmap to success.
How big of a company?
Your company size.
Okay.
Now, what's the next question?
So it's the revenue. Is he an employee? Is he
1099.
Does he have sales experience?
Yes.
Does he have roofing experience?
HVAC.
Cool, perfect. What we do is we have a 2-week onboarding with the inspector.
Right.
So the sales guy follows our lead inspector and goes on roofs, and he teaches them everything about roofing. Everything, the layers, everything.
Right.
Just so they can smell, they feel, they know the roofing system. Then they come into the industry, into the office, and they sit down with our head of sales, Justin, and then they, hand by hand, stand together for 2 weeks, onboarding process. And they start getting fed leads already from the first day they're in the office.
Right.
And little by little, we're teaching them the CRM. We're teaching them our sales closing tactics. We're teaching them the role playing that we do. We're teaching them the culture. Everybody's trying to, like, embrace everybody.
Right. Right.
And then I take them on. I bring them in and I see how they're doing, how they're liking everything.
Right.
And then we set a goal for them.
So what's
how
a
much
good
do you
goal? Yeah.
Dude,
How much they want to make?
Most of our sales guys, there's a couple that were like, I want to make 80K a year.
Right.
And I look to, like, some of our sales guys. I'm like, hey, how much are you guys doing right now? They're like, one's like, oh, I'm 150. The other guy's like, oh, I'm aiming for 250. The other guy's like, I'm aiming for 150. And so it just reevaluates their mindset of, like, oh, I should aim higher. So we re-engineer their mindset.
Right. So what do you think is a good starting point for any new salesperson within your organization with the change of the deployment of the AIs? And if not, how do you alter their mindset to get to it? Or do you just be like, you know what, like, come back when you feel like you're ready to make $200,000 this year?
What is the goal, you said? Like, what is the...
What is the, like, so what is the true implementation execution? Is it a 90-day period? And then how are you also tracking the work that's being done within the laptops and making sure that everything is up to the GLR standard?
We have AI tracking every single call, and it tracks their tonality, their speed, their objections they use. It rates every conversation they're having from 1 to 10. You have an AI doing that.
Right.
And so we're able to see them virtual ride-alongs pretty much. So we're able to keep them track. Hey, try to fix this. Hey, say this a little bit, say a little different. Use this objection next time. Use this close next time. You didn't offer financing here. All that is tracked.
Right.
And so I think in 90 days, we want to make sure everybody in our sales team is making at least 10K in commissions a month. At least.
That's fire.
At least.
So at least 100K.
Yeah.
Or at least 120K, excuse me.
Yeah. Very doable.
And with that 10K, is that, are they all 1099 now?
It depends. Some of them want to deal with the taxes themselves, which is fine.
Or are they under LLC under themselves?
Yeah. Or
Nice.
they're W-2.
Nice.
They
Which
get
is
to
better
choose.
for the salesperson? Does it depend on what they want?
It depends on how they're structured. If they have a company, do with their company. If some people, they want money now, I'm like, okay, but just be careful so you don't get screwed over with taxes. And some people are just like, I don't want to deal with any of that. Just pay me like a company employee. Take my taxes away. I don't want to deal with taxes. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
It's everybody. Everybody's different.
With that said, how are you empowering your salespeople to also not only keep them within the organization, because obviously you invest in them, which is great, and also propel them? So like, for example, for the people that do have their own businesses, how do you lead by example and help them grow their businesses? Because obviously everybody wants to do a little bit of something, right? Which is fine. I agree with that. So
No, it's an open book for everybody. Everybody knows our financials. Everybody knows, like, it's an open conversation we have. They know what we do for marketing. They knew everything. And I tell them I want to teach them so they can have their own business. Everybody know, like, if you ask our sales guys, they know our lead to speed, what tech stacks we use. They know everything. They know what proposals work, what closing lights work. They know our financials. They know how much revenue's coming into like, everything's on a dashboard.
right,
Everything.
right,
And so they're constantly learning how to be business owners themselves.
okay,
And then they ask me questions. They always ask me, like, hey, what should I do here? How should I do this? And I provide them, I give them resources. I'm like, hey, talk to this guy. Oh, here, I know a guy for taxes.
right.
Use this CPA. Hey, I know this guy for trucks. Use this guy.
I know this lawyer. I know
Yeah,
that.
everything. Yeah, they're my resources are their resources. So the culture right now is like very like, and we talk about this a lot. We're like, this is what, and this is stupid to say because it's a big difference in comparison, but we're like the PayPal of roofing.
Right.
Where like at one point they had so many great future leaders in one spot, and we all look at each other like that. And we literally take pictures and we're documenting. We have documentaries every other day documenting this process because we're like, one day we're all going to be in a different industry, absolute killers. And we're going to look back and be like, damn, remember when we were all together in one room? And so everyone knows this is a season, this is a phase. But everyone's working hard, everyone's learning. You know, it's a whole different culture than when we started.
Yeah, man, and it's a beautiful thing because it's like what I said on the podcast when I talk about commanding yourself and believing yourself and pushing yourself to the new level, but also not only leading by example, but learning from the examples you had in front of you, right?
Yeah.
Like I would watch like what you would do, and I would try to mimic certain things because ultimately it's like pattern disruptions that I had to change, right? And it's really difficult at first, especially when you get humbled so quickly and you make these mistakes, and then you make mistakes that cost the company that you believe in as much as the owner, if not more, because you see the vision and you're grateful for the opportunity, yada, yada, yada. But how do you change your pattern as somebody who is not truly successful? And then as you continue to obtain success, how do you ensure that you keep the right patterns to not only excel, to not only grow, but to, what you've said, now exponentially grow within the resources that you already have within the business you are already in?
It was all knowledge through other people's mistakes. Instead of us making the mistake and staying on the path we were. If we were to stay on the same path that we were at the beginning of or end of 2024, we would not be here. At the end of 2024, a lot of our team went out and we learned from people doing the thing we're doing right now. And we came back and we implemented a lot of things very fast. The thing is that it's not going to align with everybody. If it changes too fast, people who are doing it the old way are gonna have resistance. But you know, as a leader, I know this might not feel the right way, but if you trust me long enough, I promise you it's gonna work out.
Right.
And some people are just not gonna align with that. You fast forward, in hindsight, you're like, oh yeah, of course it was the right move.
Right.
I mean, it happens even now. Or, hey, we guys, we need to deploy this. And they're like, oh, but we have to do it, we were doing it that way. And some people were struggling to move over to another one. Like when we switched over to service time.
That
people
changed.
were like,
It's
oh,
just
this
changed, though.
this is so tough. Like we liked it the old way. And now they love it. They're like, I can't even imagine how we were doing it without it.
Because we're clinging to a comfort at the end of the day.
So it goes back into how fast of a feedback loop you can do on, this is hurting me, this is not working. Let me learn from somebody. And then you come back and like, okay, let's try this. And it's not going to work the first time. But it's like, how much trust did you have in that person who gave you that advice? And were you patient enough to actually see the fruits of that labor?
Right.
So many people jump around from thing to thing.
Right.
That I'm like, how long have you been doing this thing? And they'll tell me, oh, I've been doing this for 5 years. I'm like, but like if you put together the time you actually spent working on it, how much did you spend every 7 days a week working on it? No, he's like, I probably did it like maybe an hour a day, maybe once. I'm like, if you condense all that time,
that's not enough.
It's not what you do in that time. It's how you do it,
how you execute, and how you learn, and how you apply. Right.
Yeah. And so in the past year, I would easily say I've done more with the team that I've done in 12 years in the business.
But that's also because
because it compounds.
It compounds, right? Yeah, the knowledge compounds.
But now it's me compounding.
Okay.
And now it's the sales head of sales compounding his knowledge, and the head of marketing compounding his knowledge.
Right.
Head of finance, and then the salespeople. Everyone's compounding their growth. Like it's like Alex says, like do so much that is ridiculous that you will fail. Like
right.
It's
an output, right?
Yeah.
From thought to action.
But it was how fast you were able to do that. That's the thing. Like you learn by the feeling of it, the fear of it not working out. That right. You're like, I need to try something new. Right. But I promise you that the pressure of growth will also weed out people who might not be in it for the long run.
Yeah, and that's true, man. I think you said a good point too, like that compounding interest, like not even being willing to understand that 10,000 hours is just the starting point. That's not even the starting point of mastery. That's just, okay, you've got a foot in the game, or you got a little toe in the game now, right? Like how many hours do you think with this compounded interest or compounded investment now do you think you're at truly within the roofing world? With
the new investment? Or
with
like just in general?
Like just in total now. With the new equipment, or how about before with the new equipment and with the new deployment that you implemented today?
Yeah. Well, I think we categorize ourselves based off, not even me as an owner, but like as a company.
Yeah.
We're in the percentile of like only a small amount of roofing companies.
0.0003% to be precise.
Like something like crazy. But of that, like how many people are deploying AI agents? Of that, how many people have an average age of 25 in their office?
And to hold that.
Yeah.
How many roofing contractors are in California, even just SoCal alone?
Of that, how many have a social media platform that people follow and know you? Like of that, how many have almost 5-star review on Google?
Right.
Like if you start like looking at it, you're like, holy shit, it's on multiple verticals. Like we've passed roofing companies that have been around for 45 years. And we've done it. I'm telling you, if it's only been a year. I count this business only being a year old because of what we're doing right now.
Right, because it's a whole new era.
It's a whole new, everything.
It's a whole new everything. Like,
bro, everything. Like
now the sales guys are going to be able to have their work done prior to them even showing up, and they're just now meeting and networking and doing what? Like, what does the new sales process look like that you're able to share with us, and what is the new day-to-day and a life of a salesman with Green Ladder Roofing?
You want me to tell you the new AI process? It hasn't been ironed out.
You answer the question. You're the boss here.
I mean, our new AI process, when it gets fully finalized, we coded its own platform. So now we have a CRM for our sales guys.
Right.
That we built. It's
Right.
owned by Green Ladder Roofing. And it talks to all our platforms. Talks to Company Chem. It talks to our measurements. It talks to our CRM. And with just the address, it brings out all the information from everything. It gives you like, hey, are you sure you forgot to increase, like, you forgot to include this, or you should probably do this. And then it spits out 3 options for you with pictures, with financing options, everything ready for you in like 3 minutes. It's a crazy thing, bro. Like, we got it working where it's getting all the information, but we're ironing out the numbers in 3 minutes, bro. No, I haven't. 3 minutes.
Okay, so after the 3 minutes, after that is done.
Damn, my leg is hurting here.
Yeah, me too. It's all good. We're going on hours of content, you guys. We're almost done. We're getting there. But, you know, while I have him here, I'm only here for a couple more days. I'm going to utilize every fucking minute. Excuse me, not excuse me. Respectfully, we're going to make it happen. And I appreciate you investing the time with me. It doesn't go unnoticed. I truly do.
It's okay, the AI bot's working for me.
The AI bots are working. So technically, he's on the clock. There's like 10 of him working right now. So how many AI bots do you have now that's working just for you?
Well, there were originally 10 that was working for me.
Right.
But I deployed it to everybody now, so.
But, okay, so now you're going to add a couple of your own AI bots again now that you already deployed the other ones?
No.
What's the next steps for that?
No, because I had the AI bots working for other things.
Yeah.
They were like, want me to tell you what they were doing? Or
Yeah, please. If you want to share it. I mean, they're not going to do it anyways because they're going to be scared to invest, or they're going to take a coaching consulting call for $100 an hour. And every week after the fact, starting this week, March 15th, you know, April 15th is tax day. So you're going to have the money. By then, he's going to be charging $1,000 an hour, $1,500 an hour. Keep going. Sorry, sir. And I need to get paid on that a little bit. $10.
So I had multiple pillars, like you know, like Hack Soccer is like another company I run. There was like Direct Auto Parts. There was Green Ladder Roofing.
Right.
There was acquisition, so like scanning for businesses to buy.
Yeah.
Every day it was sending me updates on every single one of these. It was also posting on Twitter every single day for me, twice a day. It created a Twitter for me.
Twitter and Threads?
It created everything for me. It would post everything. It would post meaningful things that I approve of, that extract information. It would, what did it do? It created websites for me. Like, it did all this for me for all these other companies instantly at the same time.
Websites?
Everything.
How many websites? What, like to the other branding, like the Toyota brand that we're bringing back?
Like, but a part of me, I had to take a step back because I learned this the hard way when I first started doing all this. Because you knew when I would like go ham on trying to do a little bit of everything.
Right.
I literally, today, I had an epiphany. I was like, I'm doing the same thing at a much faster rate as last time. I said, please stop all the work you're doing on all these other companies. Right. And I said, focus on Green Ladder Roofing.
Right.
And then that's when I was like, I'm going to deploy this to all our employees so they have the fastest speed to this knowledge to grow the company. I had to take a step back and be like, I learned this the hard way before. Why am I doing it again?
Pattern?
And so I cut it all out.
Was it a pattern or what was it?
Yeah, you recognize yourself. You learn yourself. Like, you see what you're doing that you did last time.
But how do you change that pattern besides the choice? What else is it?
You learn from the pain. If you remember and reflect back at how hard tough times were, like, that was enough for me to be like, what am I doing? I'm doing it again. I'm chasing this next shiny object. I'm like, I'm cutting all this out. And I literally said, stop everything, focus everything on Green Ladder Roofing. Because it knows our goals. And so it suggests things every day of what to do.
That's insane.
And so, I guess in retrospect, everything that I was talking about, yes, there's AI agents that I created, but they're our teams now.
Right.
Because I don't need them for anything else in my life.
Right.
But why would I?
Right.
Because then distractions come.
All money in, double down,
Yeah,
right?
that's actually the bot right now.
Take it.
No, it's just a bot.
Oh, it's a bot. Call bot, sell bot, Jed bot, David bot, green bot, red bot. Slow down a little bit. Here's a pause for a quick little clip to add in. So if you guys have found any of this interesting, please subscribe, comment, but follow my boy, David Reyes. Go ahead. He's continuing to provide value, continuing to work on his health, continue to help individuals, and continue to help contractors, and also continue to help anybody who's young, hungry, and ready to go. Doesn't matter your age. With that said, not only is he looking to help, but he's looking to provide the value that you've been searching for. So if you seek, you will find, right? With that said, if you guys want more after the fact, he will be having coaching calls. Get in today before his rate continues to go up. Every week is going to be going up. And every week he's going to be helping other individuals. And every week your competitor is going to be on the phone with him. So take the time to get invested. Invest in yourself ultimately, because you're going to see it back 3-some, 4-some, 10-some, 8-some, 11-some, and in this case, 10-some with different bots that you can deploy. Okay, enough of the sales. What we're going back into, right? We're going back into success. What signals tell you right now that you're moving in the right direction?
This is the KPIs that we have already for every department.
Numbers, right?
Yeah.
This is all numbers, right? Are we in the
numbers.
matrix or are we not in the matrix?
This is all numbers. Everything here is numbers.
When did you take the blue pill? Or when did you say, forget the blue pill, I'm back in the red?
It was about a year ago.
What happened?
I realized that emotions only affect your own ability to consciously make a decision. Like, you get in your own way sometimes.
But was there a certain situation that triggered that?
Just knowledge. It just unlocks doors.
Were you reflecting? Was at the end of the day like make me feel like I'm in David's body right now at a year ago?
Okay, how do I explain this?
Story.
You guys here and people listening have this ability.
Okay.
You just don't have the right numbers in front of you.
Right.
If you did, then you would know, that looks bad, let me focus on this.
Right.
So it's not the ability to make a decision, it's the ability of, how can I get all these numbers to have good data to make the decision?
Absolutely right.
It's like the marketing team. For a while, we had the wrong categories. Or for a while, we didn't know the true cost of something. In sales, if you don't know your true cost of like close rate,
right,
how can you even get better at it? Because you don't even know it's a problem.
Right.
And so it's just, how can we look at the right numbers? And sometimes that's a good CRM. Sometimes it's a good spreadsheet. Sometimes it's, maybe you do it by hand, but at least know how much of the thing you're looking at is actually true.
So, and where, besides like the platforms that you invest in for your company, how do you know that you're actually tracking the right metrics and that every factor, every variety, every thing is actually in sync with one another? Do you go to the team that you're investing with? What would you do if, like, you're a new contractor?
Well, everything tells a story now.
Okay.
So you're able to see where the story is inconsistent. You can see it on the financial statements. You can see where people are putting money in, that I'm like, I know exactly. Like, if someone shows me their financial statements from their business, which is their P&L statements or balance sheet, I know exactly what they're doing, that they're telling me differently. They're like, oh, we tried marketing, we tried everything. If they have their financial statements in place, a lot of them don't. If they do, I'll be able to see exactly where they're bleeding money. I said, it says here that you put in money into marketing. Your financial statement says you put money into, I don't know, hiring an agency, but your ad spend was never over $1,000. So it's like, you didn't put money into, you barely filled up the tank. Like, you weren't even able to start the race. Like, I can tell where the money's bleeding just by looking at financial statements and letting them tell me the story.
The P&L or which ones?
Both P&L and balance sheet.
Okay.
And I promise you, people under 3 million probably don't even have that organized.
How often is a business owner at your level, meaning 10 to 15, looking at it every day?
Every day.
How many times a day? And then how many times are the new
3
AI
days,
bots
bro.
looking at it?
They're constantly running. They're constantly looking at it.
Fixing it, what else you can do? Like,
Bro, yeah. We have someone who's assigned and hired to do this stuff. Like, he has an MBA in finance, but we also have a bot.
Can I share the name?
Huh?
Can I share the name?
Oh, yeah.
Andy?
No.
Different guy?
Yeah.
We got multiple MBAs. My boy just got it. Okay, keep going. Sorry, keep going.
but it takes a lot to organize your financial statements
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have a good bookkeeper. Like a bad bookkeeper, you have to go back and manually categorize. This is high level stuff, like, or not high level, but like it's things that might go over people's heads. To keep it simple, keep it real simple. It's like you have all these cubbies. One cubby is your labor cost. One cubby is your material cost.
Right.
There's a whole bunch of other cubbies that you have to put in your cost in. It's like, what's my cost in ad spend? What's my cost in gas? What's my cost in people, like salaries? What's my cost in, like, you need to know all this broken down.
Right.
And a good bookkeeper will take your credit card statements and your bank statements, and they will automatically clean it up for you. They'll put it in different cubbies.
In the right categories.
Because as a business owner, you need to be able to grab that and look at it just like a map of like, oh, or like a scoreboard, like, oh, here's where we're at. Here's where we're hurting. All that stuff, dude, I started doing that a year ago. It's a whole different mindset now. Like, but it's things that I wish somebody would have told me. It's not just the roofing part, bro. That's just the start. Being a good roofer is like enough for you to have the confidence to get a license.
Right.
But it's not you haven't even started the race.
Where do you feel like you start the race truly? Like, is it after that 3 mil mark with the expansion mindset, with paying for mentors?
It's when you pass, it's at 3 million.
Okay.
At 3 million, because if you're set up properly, you already have a team. You're going to start heavily investing in marketing, your brand. Anything beneath 3, you have to do well with establishing your company brand.
Right.
Which is like your website, your SEO, on-site, off-site, your grassrooting, which is like your local city involvement.
Rule of 3, baby. God, work, family.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
how has the rule of 3 impacted your life? Because we've talked about this. I believe in the rule of 3. How has that impacted your life? How has it shaped your beginnings?
It does it subconsciously, but when I catch it, a lot of things do come in 3s. A lot of momentum, a lot of, like Brandon Dawson says, like, to grow a business, you need 3 people. And it's the visionary, the engineer, and then the executioner or the operator. But it has to be 3.
Right.
You need 3 or else that business is not going to grow. So it's all around. Sometimes I don't, going at 100 miles per hour, that I don't really see it.
Do you need help recruiting any women salespeople? Because I think there's not enough women salespeople within this industry, and ultimately we know that they're better than we are.
Yeah.
And the aspect of just building credibility initially, right, on the initial meet.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't look at like a gender.
Yeah, no gender, right.
Like us, like a good salesperson is a good salesperson. We don't hire a salesperson unless they're referred by somebody.
What classifies a good salesperson within this organization?
It's not, okay, a good salesperson is universal. You can put a good salesperson in any industry and they'll do good. It's just how good of a setup can you do so they can succeed. Like if we put a good salesperson going on roofs and doing inspections, they're probably going to fail because they're doing things that they're not even supposed to be doing.
Right.
That's why our process is so streamlined, so they can do the thing that they're good at. It's just giving them more at-bats with less friction, less energy.
Right. So, but like if you have to break it down with like a 5 set of thing, because ultimately morals come to play, actions come into play, like what is a good candidate for Green Ladder Roofing, just for the people that will now be potentially working with you? I know they might not be referred through here, but if you do entertain somebody that stands out to you, that shows up with value, like, hey, I've already done this. This is how I think I can help. This is what I've implemented. I'm sorry I didn't let you know, but I already did this. We can shut it off right away with one of your bots. Like, what could they look like for like 5 to 7 things to qualify?
Well, I guess I'll talk about the average of the people that do exist right now for us.
Smart.
Everyone is conscientious about some sort of fitness for their life, like either going to the gym or hitting the steam room. So some sort of self-care. Someone who's conscious of self-care. Someone who is family driven.
Right.
Everybody that have been working in the industry is close to family. All of them are really doing it for them. Work ethic is insane in our office. Like all these people they're pumped to work there. They like being around each other.
Right.
I think that's really important. Being able to work together as a team. Some of these guys, they go out to like. The other day, I was home. I went home and I was working late with my girlfriend. We were learning about buying businesses. This is Friday at like 9. And then
Fun, creative time.
Yeah, just together. We ordered in. We were just.
What'd you guys order? Just
Din Tai Fung.
Fire.
And then I get a phone call from one of my sales guys, the head of sales. He's like, "Hey, we just all finished at Equinox. The head of production is here with us too." And I was like, "Okay, cool." Like, he's like, "Can we do a company outing?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "What do you guys think?" He's like, "Can we go to Javier's?" I was like, "Yeah."
Javier's right by the water?
I was like, "You guys deserve it." No, there's Javier's in Pasadena now.
Oh, is it in Colorado?
Yeah, right there.
Woo!
Where the iPic was. Right there.
Oh, that's where it's at. Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, Javier's is amazing if you guys haven't gone, go.
And I was like, so they were coming from Equinox together. They steam roomed. They showered, but not together, but.
Yeah, the Equinox is the full paid service. Nobody's showering together. It's just, they got ready for the night.
And then they all went out to Javier's and had a team dinner. And they've been doing really good. Like,
yeah.
I owed it to them because we had a month we were aiming for $1 million.
Right. And
they were short by like 20,000 or something like that.
Fudge.
And I told them, I was like, you guys deserve it. We'll do something. It was, yeah. And so they deserved it.
Of course.
They went out, they celebrated, they just hang out like together.
Right.
And like now it got to the point where, dude, after that meeting, our newest salesperson came back and did 60,000 that week. When the month before, I think his total was like 40,000. And then there was the cool part is that there was a whole bunch of inside jokes in the Slack because they had created inside jokes from the outing together.
Right.
But now they were like saying these inside jokes to each other, like kind of like, I don't know. It was cool. It's cool.
Motivate and push each other, because ultimately, if you can't take the pain from your own sales team, how are you supposed to take the pain from a client, from a harsh event? Yeah. And I remember when you're out representing yourself, you're also representing the company. Like making sure to make the right decision when coming to an encounterment with some like maybe drunk a-hole, right? Like, and not falling into the trap of losing your opportunity with GLR and losing your opportunity with yourself, your own freedom. That's amazing. I mean, it's just pushing each other, right? It's constructive criticism and pushing each other to the limit, next limit.
So there's things happening in the business that I'm like, oh wow, like something that I would do for myself, they're doing, right? Like, it's cool to see. Like the other day, dude, just yesterday, I'll tell you this because it tripped me out. Yesterday we did the home show, right?
Right.
And me and the sales guys were tabling all of Saturday and all of Sunday.
Right.
On Sunday, after tabling, I went to go take back things to my parents' house. My brother helped me. And it was just one of those days where it was just a nice day. And so I decided to take the streets home instead of taking the freeway. And I was just reflecting back on life. Literally, I was just being thankful, not because of something happening, like just thankful in general.
Be more grateful.
That's something that I do when things get tough, but I do it also when things are good, like both of them. Now I was driving by, and I drove past the old spot where I used to practice soccer. I drove by where we used to go like after high school and got food. And I was driving by our old high school at Marshall. I was going down Allen. Allen, yeah. I turned on Colorado. Washington to Allen.
I know where he's going. Keep going.
No, dude. I was driving by. This is Sunday.
Okay.
At like 6 p.m. Sunlight is still out because in California now it's daylight savings. I was driving by, and I'm just like, oh man, one day, like I don't know, just thinking about life. I turn, I see a green light roofing truck at a house, and I keep driving, and I'm like, what the heck? And I start doing the quick math in my head. I'm like, not math, but like, I'm like, the inspector, he doesn't live in Pasadena. That guy doesn't live in Pasadena.
Right.
I'm like, who the heck is, I was like, is that even a green light or roofing truck? I literally busted a U right at Marshall. Like literally in front of Marshall, I busted a U to go back up. And I'm like, who the heck is that our truck?
Right.
And I turn right. And it is our truck.
Who is it?
In a driveway. And I'm like, oh, what the heck is happening here? And I pulled up my phone. I took pictures, and I can show you the pictures. I took pictures. And I was like, what the heck is happening here? And as I drive by the driveway, I see one of our guys, or one of our superintendents, talking and then laughing with a customer. They're pointing at a deck. And I'm like, what the? And then I looked it up on our CRM. He was doing a quality control walk to make sure she was happy.
Right.
On a Sunday at 6.
Have you implemented the tracking on the trucks?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But he was doing a good thing to help make sure we got a good. And I'm
on
just
a
like,
Sunday at 6 p.m.
On a Sunday at 6. And so like
that's the hunger right
there.
there.
That literally led me, and I turned right, and I went. Now I'm driving straight into Marshall, like the fields. And I literally just park, and I look at the soccer fields. I'm like, damn, from this to whatever like is going on in life. I'm like, man, just as grateful of everything.
Right. And I thought you were going to the story because you were in the car in the minivan when we got pulled over. Remember when we made it?
Yeah.
So here's a fun plug story. I made a harsh turn because I was nervous or whatever, and then a cop follows us. And for a second there, we did get away, but then we went back out onto the main street. All we had to do was like make one more turn, park the car, maybe go behind whatever, but we didn't, right? And truly, we didn't want to be in a bad situation with the cops anyhow. But funny enough, they pulled us over, hits the door on the glass with the gun. Get the fuck out. And they throw me on the car, blah, blah, blah. And then they start going through the whole car, and they're like, what are we doing here? I'm like, man, I'm a young driver. They kind of bet me that I couldn't make a turn here. And I said, like, watch me drift in the minivan. And this was like a Mad City red minivan as opposed to purple, like real Pasadena PD craziness. And somehow, by the grace of God, he's like, okay, we just got another call. We're going to leave you alone. I got your license. I got the photo of all your friends. If you guys do anything stupid like that again, we will throw you in jail. I was like, man, I'm so sorry. Like, thank you. Like, I really appreciate it. Like,
you know, senior year in high school, huh?
No. This was when I first got my permit. I wasn't even supposed to be driving with everybody in the car.
Junior year?
Junior year. Like a little, no, I think I got it sophomore year, but this was junior year.
Jeez.
And, you know, we had just passed by Josiah's house, and we were just laughing like, dude, this guy's whatever, like, you know, and to our extent, we were just dumb kids, but he would also make fun of people. So since he would make fun of so many people, we would make fun of him back. Anyways, we learned a lot from then. Don't make fun of people, help people, and watch how much better it makes you feel. But that was a funny story where I thought he was going, but being more grateful for where you're going, be more grateful and watch how gratitude, this is my quote, gratitude elevates your altitude. You could change your altitude just by starting with your own thoughts. Next topic. What if success isn't about talent, right? But the identity you secretly believe about yourself.
You said success is not about talent?
It's about what you secretly believe about yourself, or openly.
Yeah, it goes back to the mindset. It goes back into what your limit is. If your mindset is stuck on you can only accomplish certain things,
right,
then you will only accomplish those things. So it goes back to mindset.
What is
what time do we have to be here?
I have it until 8 p.m.
Oh shit. Okay.
We're gonna get to the 3-hour mark, and then we're gonna stop, and we're gonna have
3-hour mark.
We're already 40 minutes away. We're almost done.
Jeez.
Yeah, we're
bathroom break.
Yeah, get a bathroom break. Go in.
Right,
we're keeping it live. We're keeping it going. Take a bathroom break. Okay, yeah, come sit down. Come sit down, boss. Hey, sit down, please. Office of the Day continues with capital projects. Office of the Day is grateful to have you here, man. Welcome to my boy right here. I'm going to give you a quick background because I got to intro him correctly too. You know, off rip, when we first met, I was like just so, I was just so intrigued because he just walks with this certain confidence. He walks with that certain curiosity of people, and he walks with the intent to make sure whoever comes into his home feels welcomed. And that means a lot to I mean, me, anybody who has a brain, right? And it's super cool. And I was like, man, like, obviously David's had an impact on him. Obviously his dad has an impact. Obviously his mom. But also it's like they got, you know, it's a 3-brother team in the household, right? And then you got the father. But it's like he's always been so much like a brother. And I think you and I relate a little bit more than David and I, because David and I have a lot of differences. Not that there's anything wrong, but we kind of understood a little bit more about each other just within like an hour speaking alone, right? Anyways, he's an amazing individual, caring, loving individual, leads with respect and kindness with everybody. He shows the utmost respect by actions, right? And also, I haven't told him this yet, but that hoodie I gave him was the hoodie I bought so I can wear when I first bought my Tesla Model X. And then he needed a hoodie before he went out. I was like, dude, take this one. Like, and it meant so much to me, but as soon as I gave it to you, it meant even more, because I was like, this, he doesn't even know that he's going to wear this, and one day he's going to buy the supercar of his dreams. And I felt like a little prophet and little God, if you will, and his greatness over defeat. Anyways, David, you're going to have to give us like 5 minutes. That way you can take a little break. And I'm sorry, I'm holding onto your laptop, if that's okay. Thank you. And he's amazing. Just give him the time of day and the respect and the utmost love. Thank you for joining. How are you?
Thank you for the introduction, man. I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. First time doing something like this. I'm just more than grateful to be able to see you again, bro. It's been a while. Last time we saw each other was for David's birthday.
Yeah.
And that was a little bit of a blurry night. You know, it was a good one.
It was a fun, blurry night.
Fun, blurry night. But
Grab the mic and put it a little bit closer.
Yeah, okay.
There we go. Yeah.
I always wanted to ask you one question, bro, just to start it off.
Whew.
Is the tux rented or is it owned? The tuxedo. Is there a collection or is this the
Owner.
Okay.
Amazon, $90.
It always looks fresh, man. It always looks.
This is the second time. First time I wore it with David's party, and they said all black tie event, and I was the only one who wore the all black tie event. I'm like, hold on. Well, actually, no. David had his black fit on, but I was like, why did nobody do what was presented? And then Amar was like, well, you always dress to impress. And I was like, I followed the guideline that was given to me. I know how to follow directions now. I had to learn the hard way with my boy, David. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So it's owned.
I know she loved it, that you dressed to impress. I think it really completed the whole look of the party.
It did.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions like, who's that guy? They thought a lot of friends that came to celebrate for David, and they thought you were like a celebrity. Like, is that guy in a movie? Like who is? And you were just walking with this like presence of like so happy to be there, because I know you were like the family energy there.
Man, bro, I over leveraged myself to be there, because I didn't even know what was happening. David told me if he didn't hit Forbes 30 under 30, he was not celebrating his 30th. So I was like, damn, like I'm not going to get to celebrate with him for this year. And then Amar sent me the thing. I was like, okay, well, I'm not missing this for the world. But yeah, bro, I cut you off there. What was that? You said I was walking. I didn't mean to I didn't treat anybody wrong.
No. You're just like happy. You're just like a bright light just walking through, and you're just shaking hands. You're talking to everyone. And like a lot of my friends who didn't know you, or just kind of just like came like with me, they were just like, who is this guy? And I was like, oh, that's Mark. You know, like to us, it's like you said, like in the intro, like it's like a brother, it's like a family member.
Grateful to be.
They're really happy. I think a few of them met you, and then they told me like, oh, I went to go talk to him. Like, oh. I was like, yeah. like they came back to me like.
Did I get to talk to all of them or some of them?
A few of them came up to you, because they're also very curious guys.
Okay.
They're very stuck to what they know. They don't have too much outlets to go and explore outside the world. If that makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
If you're in Pasadena, it's kind of, or in certain areas.
Right.
It's just some places are a little bit easier to explore, and when they do have the opportunities to, they try to make the most out of it.
That's fair. I can agree to that.
But you mentioned the 30 for 30. That was kind of like the baseline, or like a month or two in when I was going in. So that was like a major goal that I knew he was really gunning for, and I knew that it was something that he really wanted. And me coming into it was almost like trying to hop onto a train full speed, because these guys are at it. Like they were trying to break down exactly the goals they wanted. Everyone was aligned on the team already. They knew the KPIs they wanted to hit. They knew the vision of where the company was going. And then on top of it, Dave was striving for his own goals for the 30 for 30. And I think that was like November, October, and we were shooting like every week. There's like no sleep, trying to get as many videos as we can, as many Donale content as we can, as many Green Ladder references as we can to grow both of them at the same time.
Right.
Unfortunately, coming into it, I didn't see the grand scope of everything.
That's fair.
So I was gunning for this goal. We weren't able to hit it, and it changed all my perspective of what the goals really are and what goals are going to take to hit.
Dive into that.
I think a lot of people, there's about 90% of the people in this world who want to be rich and famous, who want to complete everything they have in their mind, you know? Everything they see online. They're like, oh, I can do that. But there's only about like 5 to 10% of people who actually take the action of it. And there's only about 2% of people who take the action weekly or daily. And then it compounds, right? So what I thought was all my efforts into trying to make it happen, to accomplish the goal he wanted for the 30 for 30, or, you know, growing the company. I was trying to do it all at once, but none of it was working. I was putting in all my effort. I was putting all the time. My eyes were burning from looking at the screen.
Right.
But it didn't matter because I wasn't running at the right goal. I was running at the right goal, but not with the right tools, or not with the how do I say it? With the right perspective to get there. Okay. I was aiming for, like, let's just put it like this: if I aim for 100, through the conversions, I was only gonna get 10. You know, so if you want to hit that 100, you look at the conversions. You have to aim for 1,000. You know, minimum. So yeah, there's different aim points.
Absolutely. So flash forward. What are you doing different now? Don't tell them the goals, because at this point we've already given them way too much, and we're going to continue to give, but just in different ways. How have you changed on the action standpoint?
I've changed from one word: delegating, spreading it out.
Delegation, baby.
Delegation,
like Drizzy.
Yeah. If I were to put it all on myself to accomplish all the goals that we're setting out to do, I would fail 100% of the time. But if I can delegate and express the vision and motivate 5 people to do it for me, I'm hitting that like every time.
Right.
Because I know that's a little more of my stronger suit. I can learn it, I can figure it out, but there's a timing curve of how long it's going to take to learn it and how long it's going to take to put it in action. Right. Compared to 5 people doing it for you, and you keeping them all on the same track, and 5 times the output on top of what I can do. So whether it be daily, a weekly goal, a yearly goal, a monthly goal, if you put them all on one straightforward line, you run at that line as fast as you can. Right. You're gonna get there even faster than trying to spread everyone thin. So yeah, delegation has been the biggest part of it. And
how many people do you oversee now? Head of marketing, by the way.
Maybe like 7. 7 heads, and then they have a team within themselves. Okay. So whether it be CSR, marketing for social media, the marketing teams are helping for Facebook, SEO, Google, our editors, people are helping with the videos. Yeah, a little bit on the client nurture, the experience of the client, and just the overall visuals of Green Ladder. So there's a lot of moving pieces, and that's also another thing I didn't know. There's just so many moving pieces in marketing that you can have a really good-looking company who has little to no lead generation, or you can have a lot of lead generation, and these companies you've never even heard of, And if you can do it all, it's like a golden ticket. It's just understanding each play and having it move while I'm not even working, kind of thing.
And with that said, so how do you feel now in the position you're in with not only, how do you feel now in the position you're in? Do you feel comfortable?
No. I mean, yeah.
You're comfortable in the sense of like you know what you're doing every day. You know where the ship is going. You know where you're going to hit your short-term, mid-term, long-term, personal, professional, and financial goals. Do you feel like comfortable with that?
Oh, yeah. Now it's just waking up and doing it. You know,
what time do you wake up?
Yeah, so I can wake up and not do nothing, and I know exactly what needs to be done, and that's what like grinds my gears. Like when I know everything. Like I know today I got to do this, tomorrow I got to do this, and then the next day I got to do that. But if this doesn't happen, then the next thing can't happen.
Right.
So it's just it's not no more of a mystery of I got to figure it out, and now it's just taking the steps I can take within that day, make it as good as possible, so the next day I can take that next step. Or else if I focus too much on that first step and I try to learn everything about it and I try to research everything about it, and then a week goes later and I'm like, oh my gosh, I know like everything about it, but no action was taken, then that second step was never taken either as well.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I can do like hours of YouTube, hours of Claude, hours of ChatGPT reading, but then nothing happens. It's a little bit of the learning, taking action, figuring out what went wrong, and then how to make it better.
And what does success mean to you?
In what sense? In Green Ladder life.
Yeah, I mean they all align. Right? You could name them off like the top 3 for you, like whether it's spirituality, whether it's Green Ladder roofing, whether it's family. You can name it off however you'd like.
Okay. When it comes to Green Ladder, we know a little bit more. You guys have heard a little bit more of the goals that we're trying to hit.
Right.
When it comes to success, it would be having right now, like I said, we only have oversee like 7 people who I'm constantly talking to every day, trying to figure out what's going on. Success in that aspect would be 100 moving parts without me like even having to wake up and look at my laptop. Right. So being able to complete every goal that we have at the success rate that we want without me having to stretch myself too thin, so I can spend a little more time with the family. So having those goals hit, having those KPIs met, and still being able to have dinner with my mom and my dad, still being able to go to the park, work out with my brothers, just enjoy life while pushing forward in that aspect.
What does the average day-to-day look like as a head of a marketing department in this company?
Wake up, splash water in your face, look at the emails, see what happened overnight, check anything that's happened, respond to people right away. That's kind of a technique he taught me. It's a very key part into going to that next step. And then get into the office, seeing any updates that he has for me, the sales team has for me, or production has for me, any feedback that they've heard from talking to the clients, seeing where we're at on spend, checking up on media, see how we're looking for the media for the week, what's going to be posted, and then once I get all the day-to-day stuff out the way, I try to do that as fast as possible so I can start getting into how to grow it.
I love the cartoon films. I can't wait to see more of the cartoon films, especially with the little stories that we can incorporate. I think it's going to be amazing, man. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm like, where are there more raining cartoon films? Because it's just like, it's like it creates that sense of urgency, right? So a little bit of a deep dive and explanation behind the scenes of, finishing school, hitting those goals, and fully diving in and getting incorporated within the business. Do you feel like not only you've made the right decision, but it's the thing to do as well, focusing on what you've been doing, and you took that risk, you bought the camera, you've been doing these things that, you're the top 1% in your age group in the sense of being fearless and taking that action. Can you just elaborate on that a little bit for me and where your mind frame has shaped and built to now?
Well, age went out the window. Like, thinking about my age, I'm hanging out with these guys who are, they're dreaming of mountains. They're dreaming of climbing Mount Everest, and then I look over and they're already 20 steps up. Like, oh damn, you guys are already moving. It's what was the question?
I guess really just how you knew it was the right thing, and how you were fearless to just hop on it right away, aside to David's influence and his embodiment of leadership? Servant leadership is what he provides.
When I first came in, my only really thought was how my brother's growing the company. I know he's stressing. I would love to just spend a little more time with him and then see how I can help. That was really my main intention of coming in. Just I was away in school.
Right.
We always had a little bit of an age gap. And then we finally, when I came back, he would tell me a lot more about his business, and I felt like we had like a ground point where we can just talk for hours now. Before, it's a bit bigger age gap, so the talking points are.
What is the age gap?
9. I'm 21. 9. Yeah, 9. Before that, it was
6 upside down is 9 now. Keep going.
Before that, it was just like, a lot of sports. We were talking about like family stuff. We would always talk about goals, but now we can talk about like a day to day, like things that are happening, things we can improve on, and there's a lot that I still need to learn. But I get to hop in these conversations now with more confidence after being around with the guys. I got to see Eric, our production manager, like grow into his position that he's killing it right now.
He's a monster.
It's been sick. But like knowing him as like when we were younger, it was a whole completely different story. He was, I would never expect him to be on this path, and seeing him do that, that's been pretty awesome. I know his family loves that for him.
For sure.
And surprisingly, I think I'm getting along with the guys. Like the team that David built out, they're pretty solid dudes. They're pretty genuine. They're pretty funny. Not guys that I expect to be making this much motion. They're just like average dudes who are just really passionate about this right now, and it's been awesome to see firsthand.
Yeah, it has been. So what do you think success, or what do you think for people who want success, and then for people like David and yourself who refuse to lose? You are open to learning and refusing to lose. What's the difference?
Just waking up and doing it. No matter how if you feel bad or if you feel like you messed up or if you feel like you're doing really good, that's also a big one. You can be doing amazingly and then stop. So it's kind of just like waking up and doing it, just consistency.
Are you in a journal right now? Like, are you journaling at all?
Oh yeah, every day.
How has that helped you? Because I've been reaching out to the youth plenty of times and, preaching, if you will, get in the journal. Like, how has that helped you and helped your relationships?
I think it helps me slow down in the morning. With so much that I have to kind of get done as soon as possible to get, like I said, the next steps going for this company that's moving at a million miles a second. Yeah. So I wake up and I'm already full of okay, I got to knock stuff out. And then once I get done out the way, I get to write down, know exactly what's going on in my head, slow it down a bit, take a breather, read it over.
Right.
Read over the page I read yesterday. Okay, different mindset that I was in. Okay, I'm feeling a little better today.
Right.
And then I get to talk about it with my girlfriend. She's doing it on her end as well. She's also very passionate about that. She's a big avoider of trying to be on technology too much.
And why is that? Because she found that she's in the subconscious mind and in prayer more. Elaborate on that. That's dope.
She's a very nostalgic person. She just loves the 2000 era when Converse are in, low top skinny jeans for girls, iPod, Kanye was out, earbuds that are connected on wires. She loves that aesthetic, and people are actually having fun together. I feel like that's a lost trait that a lot of my generation has right now. I can say this firsthand for myself.
Yeah.
This past weekend, I had a fluke on delivery on a couple of things, and I had to make it right because we had a home show. And it was the first time where I was scrambling, and I had to make a couple calls, and I went to go visit these business owners in person. Right. And I was like, hey, I needed help. Can you guys help me? Can you guys direct me to someone? And he directed me to someone, and that business owner directed me to someone else.
Thank you, sir.
And then that business owner directed me to someone else, and it was just a full on out of body experience of I just did so much more work instead of doing an Amazon order, or instead of just trying to get a shipment through a different company, or just emailing people back and forth. I was face to face with business owners, And they even told me, like, we don't get to see a lot of people from your generation no more. Like, they just kind of just call or email. Like, we don't see people really coming out and, like, talking to us.
Right.
And, dude, they're the most genuine, like excited to help me people. And they didn't have a website. They didn't have, like, they had a Google business page. But they were just, like, small family-run businesses. And they're like, yeah, we can help. Like, we're kind of just, like, we're free on time. Like, what do you need? And they sent me over here, sent me over there. And that was, like, a great connection. So going back to the nostalgia part, she likes that face to face, that human connection. She likes
the human interaction.
Human interaction. It's definitely a lost trait. I think my age group is kind of pushing away from, especially now with phones and everything.
Right.
So, the writing it down, bro. You're tapping into almost like a different lifetime now. It's
right.
Instead of typing it or writing an email or asking like ChatGPT to tell you how you're feeling, or it's really you breaking it down, critical thinking, and it's almost like a lost art.
It is a lost art. And speaking of lost arts, do you let's go to nostalgia. Do you ever reflect back on when you were a kid? Because David, for example, why he stands out is because he told me about his imagination sector in his brain. And I'm sorry if you don't want me sharing that, but it's amazing what he can imagine up and see in his mind and see the future and see the past and see the growth. Is there something like that you do too?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those where I never really struggled too much in school. I did a lot of sports, but school was always one of those things that I just know I had to get out the way so teachers wouldn't bug me. So once I would like knock out just work, I would just sit in class for hours, just thinking, like staring at a wall, playing music, and just letting myself just daze off into like, oh, if I had this amount of money, I'd buy this, or oh, if my family had a store, what would the store would be? Like if we all were to like start a company, what would that look like? If we were like 20 years from now and like it's all said and done, what does that look like? And this was me like before like I even like really.
How old were you then? That's crazy.
This is like high school. Like high school, I did high school through. Also, I had like a COVID era, so I did spend a lot of time at home.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where, especially where we come from, you can either think about what's happening right in front of you, and it's kind of like in it, or you can think about a couple years down the line, like everything I can do to fix it and be out of it.
Right.
So yeah, I don't think I've always just thought, okay, 3 months from the 3 months down from the line, like if I work out every day now and I eat everything good right now, in 3 months I'll be okay. You know? It was always one of those things where maybe I can't fix it right here right now, but if I keep going at it, it's only bound to change. Like it's only bound to change if you're still going at it, whether it be health, business, relationships, family. It's just one of those things where you're just like, okay, if I keep doing it, if I keep thinking about it, it's bound to come. Like if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. So if you're not daydreaming or not thinking about a successful future, it's not in your sight. You're living your life and just on a day-to-day basis. If you're not pushing forward your mind for a 5-year stretch or a 2-year stretch, it's kind of hard to hit a certain goal.
Right.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
So you have to change. You have to be great. You have to be grateful.
Yeah.
Why? And you're a very observant person, which you've obviously made clear already. Why do some CEOs become global personalities while others stay absolutely invisible?
I think it can be a privacy thing at times. It's definitely, I've seen the beauty in a lot of people that know David through videos, through his stories, through just what he's willing to put out there. But there's also like a big side of him that a lot of people don't know. Like, but that's the beauty of privacy. You would like to,
right?
You can put it out there, and you will get the positive and the negative from people. And I can see how that can be like annoying at times. So it just depends on the person if they're willing to outweigh the odds to really help someone.
For sure.
Some CEOs, It also depends on the goodness of their work. I've seen the ugly side of business as well, and I understand why those CEOs want to stay hidden, kind of thing. And that's that's their thing. That's the way they want to live their life. That's the way they want to pursue their money. Their
privacy is a
career.
lost art too. You're right.
Yeah. So I really appreciate those people who are striving to help out the community, help out people who genuinely are looking for a way out but then don't know. If you're putting yourself out there to do that, I think that's awesome. I think that's amazing. But there's good and bad in it that I've seen on my end.
Yeah, there is.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. What are like things? Let's go with the roll of three. What are 3 things that you see based on the reflections that you've done this week that, or I guess starting from the last week, that you see that you're going to improve this week, if you had to say it right now?
In GLR?
In GLR, and personal, and spirituality, and within family.
3 things to improve on. We haven't had too much media come out. We haven't had a lot of
For good reason.
for good reasons, yeah, for good reasons. But that's one thing I would love to improve on. Would be show more faces of Green Ladder. There's 50 plus people in this operation, and they're always pushing train a little forward. And I'd love to get them on the camera. Some of them are a little more camera shy. I had a couple conversations with them, and they said they're kind of inching to it a little bit more. And as we do good, as they're having more fun with talking to clients or just talking amongst themselves.
Yeah.
It's one thing I would love to show. Yeah, because there's a lot of great guys in the operation. Besides that, I've been slacking on the gym. It's been about I worked out yesterday, but it's been about a 2-week hiatus of not being consistent.
I got you.
And I feel it mentally. There's a 4 or 5 day grace period where I don't have to work out, and I feel on top of my game. I'm able to do certain things.
Right.
But after those 4 days are over, my brain almost stops. I need the blood flow to kind of realign with themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
And then after that, I'm really trying to improve just the customer experience as much as I can.
Customer experience.
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah, man. The customer experience is everything. Whether it be for just overall vibe of the company. If the customer's happy, the company's happy. And then that ultimately just brings more referrals for us. So that's also a great one.
So do you think in the future marketing, do you think it's going to belong to the brands or to the bold founders, or to, in this case, everybody within the organization, like the user-generated content, the people that work, the clients? What do you think? Where do you think that's shifting to?
I think definitely the overall company. It goes into that. It goes into
right.
how the company presents themselves, because I can only post so much. I can only send out so many follow-ups on people. It all just depends on the clients aren't ready for 100% AI, so people are a major key component into
sure.
making the wheels successful.
You're right.
So whether it be keeping them fresh, telling them, hey, maybe haircut, make it look nice, or getting more merch for the guys so they're they feel comfortable to go out and go into these people's homes or on top of these people's homes. If they're in good spirits, that would translate into the client. A big one that I known from the sales guys was, we have a new guy kind of coming in right now, and they're trying to get him to smile more, because they believe that the client also, they can hear you smiling.
Yes, you can. Yep.
Yeah.
I've done phone sales for 3. Yes, you're
Yeah.
right. They can hear you
Yeah.
smiling, or they can hear you not smiling.
Yeah.
Go for
And
it,
that's a big one. If we keep him happy and he's in a good mood, he's a happy dude. He's just a little more, he just doesn't smile kind of thing. But they're trying to convince him, hey, bro, just smile more, keep him happy. And if we're able to keep that atmosphere light and keep it happy, I feel like he would do numbers. He'll go crazy. It's kind of he's slowly getting into it.
Right. That's fair. I think that's an important part. Like, you can smile in sales and still be the professional and consultant that you need to be, right? Because sometimes they say, well, if you're too energetic and you're too happy about the product, then you're lying about something. But no, there's a fine line, right? There's a balance in it. And I think you need to make the client smile, because people buy from people. People don't buy from people they don't like. People don't buy from people they don't trust, and they don't buy from people that they don't relate to.
Right.
And if you can't make them smile and you're not smiling, you can't relate to that person, because that other person on the other end, they want to make sure that you can provide that solution. Ultimately, I'm going a little bit fast here, but if you don't provide that solution and show that you can actually deliver and do it in a way where it will make them happy, because ultimately it's still not only a need, but it is a want for some clients that have the money, that does like a slate tile roof that David's talked about on the houses that we worked on. Like, they just want to do it because they have the money, and if they don't feel happy about the product that you can actually deliver, why are they going to buy from you, right?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think are the biggest things that you've learned in the shift of marketing from now all the way back to when you first started?
It would be definitely, well, the importance of customer experience, but also the importance of volume. Going back to what I said about the conversions of the goals you want to hit, you really need to like volume, whether that be the amount you post, the amount of outreach you're doing, the amount of cold emails, knocking on doors. Volume is the name of the game, and then from there you start tweaking a bit, and then you'll boost up the conversion little by little. Okay, so 1,000 leads, 900 booked,
Right.
200 actually ran, 3 sold.
Right.
So now, from the sold to the booked to the ran to the actual lead, how can we get all of them to 90? Right. So if you have that volume, you have as much data and knowledge of what's happening to see how you can make your little tweaks to make it to boost up all these conversions.
What is something what can they utilize to track these metrics, like on the smaller scale for those smaller contractors, like 1M to 3M for their tracking of their marketing?
I wish I could tell you, man. When I came in, they had this monster powerhouse CRM called Service Titan, and that's just where I'm learning from. That's just kind of my bread and butter right now.
That's okay.
So I couldn't tell you a little more info on that side. That's definitely a piece that I'm missing in my knowledge gap of what to do between that gap. I only know what from that 3M goal and higher of how to maximize it. So I'm kind of niche.
No, and that's okay, because I mean that's what you're focused on, and you're filling in gaps, the more important gaps, the gaps that need to be filled in within the organization now and later. How many posts should we be expecting to see from Green Ladder Roofing now? We have a deployment bot going, like on like the business page, or is it just going to be more like focused on LinkedIn? Like, what do you guys think?
I think a good for just like content that can just be generated, that's not fully someone talking like talking head type content.
Right.
I would aim for like 2.
Nice.
2. I think for every 3 AI posts, you should get like 1 human post in there. Kind of keep it fresh. Now don't overdo it a little too much.
Right.
I've seen a couple of Instagram pages that are just all AI, and I don't even want to like scroll through it. I don't even.
Yeah, I can't connect with that.
Yeah, you can't. You just can't.
I'm not a robot.
So I'm hoping for like 2 a day, and then maybe one whether it be an inspector post or a salesman post, project manager post, production post, CEO post. Kind of just keep it fresh.
I think there's gonna be more, right? Because like you guys have like these resources now to be posting at an alarming rate, and it's like also it's like, well, we don't actually need to, because we're the trusted #1 roofing contractor in Pasadena. We ultimately, like, the social media, the presence is there already. The presence has been there, so ultimately it's not an important thing, right? It's more focused on the clients that we have and the clients that we look to obtain for what you said, right? The client experience.
Right.
Optimizing that, making it so it's the best experience.
Yeah.
And now that you know how to continue to excel their experience, how does it feel for you when the client is happy, they're paid in full, they leave that review? Like, how does that make you feel?
That's a relieving feeling. That's a great feeling. Especially when you see like they finished the whole cycle and left a good review in a short period of time and paid. Oh my gosh, that's the best feeling ever, because you're like, they did it right. Whether it be the inspector or the project manager on the job, or just the overall production of it. I would like to go back, see where exactly went like amazingly, and see why it did it, and see if I can replicate it. Because that's like the overall goal. That feeling at the end where you get that good review and they're already paid and the job is done. They even some clients even ask for the thing that goes in front of their house, the green ladder roof. That's the best feeling.
The yard sign.
The
other
the
one.
signs. So the signs are just like, I'm a proud green ladder roofing client.
I love it.
And I would love to, because if the goal is we do it right and we're the only roofer you ever need. That would be the end goal. That you're so happy with your experience and you love the work so much that if there was some freak accident, some freak storm, and there's something that happened on your roof, like your first instinct is like, oh, I'm gonna just call David, or I'm gonna call one of the project managers. Like, it's not even an issue. It's not even a concern no more. Just of how well we handled it, and that would be the end goal for every single client.
Absolutely.
Kind of thing. But there's always flukes in the road. There's always like just like variables.
But you go back and you fix it and you make it right. Like what David said, like where do we go from here? How can we make this right with you? And you go fix it, and then ultimately they become the best customer. They start sending you referrals. They start marketing you by themselves if they're cool, which some of them do, you know, naturally and organically. Now let me have David come back on. We're going to finish here. We're going to have like a 5-minute close. And thank you, head of marketing.
Oh yeah.
Head David Reyes, head capital projects. A lot more to come. If you guys have resonated with anything he said, you know, his availability is limited, but for the right price, and for, you know, it pertains a little bit differently when it comes to what you might be looking to film. But if you're interested in having a short film built, having some kind of content built, please reach out. I'll leave the information within the chat. How well can they find you online?
You can find me. Just first and last name on the search. You can probably
David Reyes. Is it? I forgot the. Let me see. I should have it. Right.
2 underscores David Reyes, and it should pop up for the personal. If not, I spend way more time on the Green Ladder page. If you wanted to reach out to there,
head up Green Ladder, baby.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Don't worry.
Yeah. So with that said, man, I really appreciate you. Thanks for allowing me to do that long intro.
No, of course. Thank you.
He said, nah, I got to watch my image. Don't worry, we're almost done. No, we got, No. What? We have 4 minutes.
All right.
Or actually 5 minutes. All right, we got the CEO back. We got the head of marketing and film in the background. He's been killing it for us. Thank you, bro. I appreciate your patience. He's been over here fighting off allergies just to keep it rolling. We're about to hit that 3-hour mark, and we're going to close out. So, down David Reyes está aquí en Medellín. Next office of the day is going to be in Morelia. Next office of the day is going to be in Panama. Next office of the day is going to be in all of South America. And yes, David's going to be there. He's going to make an appearance. So, with that said, welcome back, Don David Reyes. Welcome back to the show. We appreciate you having him here. I've had him here for 3 hours. People literally are going to have to pay $3,000 for 3 hours here very shortly for his time. With that said, I have a couple more questions for you. And it's going to be like a series of 5 questions. We'll make it as quick as possible. Thank you for your time. 1, what are 3 things you're going to improve this week?
This week? I'd probably improve on... I don't know, actually. I haven't reflected on this week. It's a Monday, so...
I mean the past week. What are you going to improve on from last week to this week?
My whole goal this week is to elevate the team in their output. So that was a success through the bot deployment already.
Whew.
So it's just going to be continuing to teach them on that.
Bots are working.
Just
okay.
Teaching them on AI. It's one thing to learn the AI training. It's another that your team knows the AI power. So.
Training and then what's number 2?
We're going to be... I guess we're going to be closing out our books because taxes are due. So we're going to be making sure everything's closed up, cleaned up, and we're preparing for quarter 2 already. So we're already coming up with budgets for quarter 2.
Q2 is already outlined. He's being modest.
Dude, the whole year's outlined already. But
the whole next 5-10 years.
but the next quarter 2 is like where can we like put pressure in?
Right.
And so right now it's in we're actively hiring, looking for a new sales team members, and we're going to be increasing the ad spend here pretty soon.
Pretty shortly. Okay, number 3.
Probably going to go back to the gym, be consistent. I was being consistent. I was running like 15 miles every week. That was last month.
That's numbers.
But because of everything that it just had to be. Like if you're late in AI right now, 2 weeks is an eternity. Like if you're not doing it.
How much do you think 2 weeks translate in the AI world if we just had to spitball for now with like AI agents that work 24/7?
I think 2 weeks is equivalent to about 2 months.
2 months of working without sleeping 24/7.
Yeah, it translates to like 2 months.
Okay. 3 things have been stated. What do you think roofing contractors as business owners are marketing themselves, and they're doing the marketing that they're doing incorrectly, that you should see, or that we should see improvement on, so we can not be the roofer that just came in, did the roof, and we're the bad guys later because it leaked like 2 months later because of something else that they may have done on their own.
So there's a lot to unlock.
Oh yeah, so let's just go with, what do you think roofing contractor CEOs are doing incorrectly when it comes to marketing?
Can you hold it? Probably they're trying to figure out how to get them through the door, but they don't know how to they don't know what to do with them once they're inside the house. Like you're getting all these leads, but you're fumbling the ball. You're like the wide receiver who's always constantly asking for the ball. When he gets it, he drops it.
For what?
You're off the team, bro. Like you're done.
Yeah.
You're getting cut. You're getting cut from your own company.
Right.
Your company's going down under.
Right.
Like just plain and simple.
Right.
You're asking for this. It's like asking for blessings, and God gives you obstacles to get strength first.
Do you think the CEOs should be the loudest in the room in the aspect of work ethic?
It depends on the level. Again, you go back to the business level. It depends. If it's 1 to 3,
yeah,
yes. If it's 3 to 5, yes. If it's 5 to 10, you have to be able to be around the people who believe in you, and they themselves are a piece of you. They themselves have that work ethic, but you have to be there for them when they need you the most still. But it's no longer working the hardest. It's just having the right connections for them.
Do you think AI is more important than being with your team every day at the point you're at right now within the same?
No, people will still, and I think continue to be the best asset any company has, because anybody can get a tech stack and anybody can create a bot, but if you don't have the people to help drive that vehicle, it doesn't matter. There one day might be a $1 billion one-man show because of all these bots, but not in roofing. In roofing, you need people. That's why all these private equities are trying to come into home service space. You need people.
You need people. What belief do most successful people have that the average person would actually find crazy?
I mean, just us. Like we're trying to get to 40 million a year,
and it's on target
for next year.
But it's on target.
Yeah, people are just like, some people are trying to get to $1 million a year, and those people trying to get to $1 million a year are already above the average.
Right.
Because the average person is not thinking of that number. They're thinking about their week to week, what they're doing that weekend, and how they're going to spend their paycheck, and how much, and what girl they're going to take out.
Right.
And like, I don't know, what cool shoes they're going to be buying.
Right.
How much they're going to be spending on the next chain or something.
Invest in yourself like you do the chains. Don't invest in the chains. Invest in yourself.
Yeah, I tell. And me and my brother talk about this a lot. Bro, I still drive around in a beat up F-150 from 2009. The one truck you used to drive.
that has no AC. He's pushing
It
P,
still
and
doesn't
we're
have-
pushing
It
M's.
still doesn't have AC.
Yeah, it still doesn't have AC.
No.
His dad told me what to do to get the AC. I was like, nah, I got to keep myself humble. I got to sweat.
And I still
Sweat equity.
I still drive that truck.
Yeah.
We have 7 trucks in the company, and some of them are 350s, like big bulky trucks.
Yeah.
We just bought 2 new trucks,
Right.
but I still have the beat up F-150. It
Keeps you hungry.
It keeps me humble, but it's also like I don't need the flashy stuff.
Don't need it.
Everything, it goes back to being aligned. It goes back to the box should only focus on this. It goes back to I don't need to drive because I've had the big trucks.
Right.
I mean, we've gone on vacations to like Arizona and stuff.
Man, we
Big
have the
trucks.
vibes. The vibes are right.
I don't need that stuff. You start cutting it, and it becomes a game. It's just like, how can I keep living the simple while everything else is growing around?
Below your means, right?
It becomes a game. It's just like,
Is this the best game that you've ever played?
yeah, because everybody's winning.
Oh! All right, you guys. We've had a exclusive 3-hour exclusive with so much content. Thank you, David Reyes. Thank you, my boy Dre Reyes. Thank you, Mr. Green Ladder Roofing. Mr. Green Ladder Roofing. God loves roofers. Don't forget it. Office of the Day with Mark Anthony. And make sure you get this on your phone if you can. I'm going to close this out. Thank you, David, by the way. Don Reyes. Estamos aquí en downtown LA. Está rico, papi, in Arts District. And rico, mami. You already know the vibes. So, the whole point of today was to show you that ultimately you make the decision to live. You make the decision to get up every day, and you make the decision to ultimately do what you need to do every day. Now, with that said, if anything ever that I've said has resonated with you today, take the chance on yourself. Go ahead and get the free call, and let me see how I can build your small roadmap or big roadmap, whatever you choose, to success. In the case if you want another call, we can discuss the next steps on that. It's a no pressure situation, or reach out to David, or reach out to people on YouTube. Reach out to them by just following them, learning from them, then reaching out to them. For example, Neil Patel, Forbes, millionaire. He's about to be a billionaire this year. He's leveraged AI, NP Digital, Uber Suggest, all these different things. But I reached out to him straight for 3 years. I had friends, family laugh at me for reaching out to this guy. I got him on the podcast, and now I'm going to have him on soon again. He's a friend that I call, we talk, we exchange text messages on Father's Day, even though I'm a dad without the kid doing all daily. Anyways, the whole point is you can choose what you want. You can choose the life you want to live. Don't believe me. Maybe believe him. Don't believe him. Maybe believe the guy behind the camera. Don't believe him. Believe the people that have had way less than you and still on paper have more than you. But with that said, we're here today because of God's grace. We're here today because of God's amazing love. We're here today because God never gave up on us. And we're here today because God didn't let me die 11 times that I should have already. He didn't let him die. He had his second chance, and he took it. He said, you know what, boss? I have this opportunity. I almost died working for you. I realized I need to do my calling. And that means taking care of my family. How can I do that? Is by focusing on Green Ladder Roofing because, you know, God loves roofers. And you understand. And of course he went for it. And still to this day, he helps them. So make the choices that are the right choices. Ultimately, deep down, we always know what it is. It's the hard thing. It's the commitment. The truth is in the value. The truth is being hard with yourself. And the truth is in the mirror. You know what to do. Office of the Day, Green Ladder Roofing, Capital Projects, Capital's Wolf, Pasadena's Wolf, ultimately here to help you win or learn, fly high. Any last messages that you would like to leave with the people?
Just do the work.
Just do the boring work.
Just shut up and work, dude.
In my case, I'm going to shut the fuck up and we're going to get back to work. We love you guys. Office of the Day, rico, mami. Estamos aquí en Medellín, Morelia. Bye. Let me hold on. I'm not done. I got to turn it off. Guitar band, garage band. We're in the moon. 309. 6 upside down is a 9 now. Bye.